Theirs, they say, is a different world about which white Americans have bothered to learn very little. Indeed, the first thorough study of Negroes and how they live in this country was completed only a few months ago. Our government, which conducts detailed surveys of everything from sugar beets in Colorado to social habits in Cambodia, had never before taken a close look at the 21 million Negroes of America. Daniel Moynihan, until this summer Assistant Secretary of Labor, was in charge of the study and was staggered by it. Moynihan says the Negro family structure is collapsing, and we asked him the reasons.
The first is, remember that American slavery was the worst slavery the world has ever known. We can't get that into our heads because the standard of living of the slaves was high, perhaps. We don't see how awful it was. We deprived them of the sacraments as Christians. We deprived them of any institutions as family life. We deprived them of any rights as human beings. There's a very long and complicated history, but we did. There's no other slavery like it in history. And there was no Negro family at all in the slave world. Secondly, segregation and the great humiliations of Jim Crow was a brutal assault on the personal integrity of the Negro male. I mean, he was the man who took the brunt of it. Thirdly, urbanization poured into the cities. Don't forget, the Negroes of our time, because they're Americans, we don't see them as immigrants. The Negroes in Watts were immigrants, just as much as the Italians or Irish or whatever who poured into the cities in the 19th century. And it wasn't a very pretty sight in New York in 1870 either, let me tell you. The families break up when they leave countrysides, rural peasant life, and sort of dump into slums. Fourthly, unemployment. We have had 35 years of disastrous unemployment. And for the Negro male, he has never gotten over the Depression. He had 4 fair to middling years in the Second World War, and maybe a good year in the Korean War, and that's it. It's getting better just recently. But by and large, it's been going on beyond the imagining in the white world. I mean, rates of unemployment, teenage unemployment in the white world, in the Negro world today is almost 25%. Can you imagine that? That is a social crime. That's an outrage. There isn't a society in the world which will let 25% of teenagers go unemployed. About a quarter of Negro families are headed by women. The divorce rate is 2.5 times what it is. And all the number of fatherless children keeps growing. And all these things getting worse, not better, over recent years. It's not a matter of a bad situation that doesn't improve, but rather a bad situation that worsens. Got to get that clear. It's getting worse. How'd you learn how to behave? From your father and your mother and your older sisters, maybe, and the people around you. Well, supposing there is no father, or if he is a father, he doesn't work, where there is no education, where there's no sense of getting ahead, where children are just brought up without any of that support which a family gives it, then what do you end up with? You end up a cycle reproducing itself. No group in our society is satisfied if for many, many years, for generations, the competitions of life always end up with them as the losers. Now, equality isn't a demand that everybody live the same. That's a flat level of existence. That's not the thing at all. What is true is a demand that, given one group of people, that you distribute success and failure and distinction and anonymity and affluence and poverty about the same way it's distributed in other groups. We've got to get men to work. A man can't run his family if he doesn't have a job.
Really tuning into this.
It just starts there. Is there any secret to that? I mean, do you have to have sociologists tell this country that? No.
We face on a normal basis. This your man Russ Danger, and this is What's Love Got to Do With It. I got my lovely host Soul Kitten online. I got the beautiful Miss Latrice. I think she's still with me, and I should be having Miss Seiko calling in just a second. But it's a dangerous time that we living in, y'all. I don't know what to say or really how to kick this show off, because it's gotten so crucial that it's. Let me slow down. Today's show is called Broken Relationships Within the Family, okay? and we also wanted to hit on the current situations that's going on right now. Are my girls there? I can't hear you guys. Are you online?
I'm there.
Okay. Yeah.
Right here.
It's such a crazy time that we're in right now. What do you feel about the past couple weeks that we faced as blacks in America? What do you feel about that right now?
Well, I really felt it was really sad more than anything else when all of it was going on because it just reminded me of the stories that my mom and dad used to tell me and my great
And the great humiliation of Jim Crow was
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Continue.
And so it was just, it really disturbed me because, you know, I know that the KKK is behind a lot of this. And I mean, even though we got justice and, you know, all 4 of the officers were arrested and they gave him second degree, the main person, the guy that choked him out. My thing was this, like, during all this past week, there was a Latino young man that was 22, and he was killed. He kneeled on his knees, and I mean, he had a hammer in his pocket. They thought it was a gun. They shot him 5 times. He died, and that was in Vallejo. And then they opened fire. A mysterious van, opened fire on 2 of the protesters and shot one. And then there was another young man that he was in the protest. He was 18, and he was by this white guy, and the white guy shot him and killed him during the protest. There's a lot of things that's happened. Even though there's some progress being made, there's still some sacrificial lambs, and I'm disturbed by that because there's, you know, even though different races are standing with us, I think it's great that a whole bunch of Caucasian brothers and sisters is walking with us as well as the Latino brothers and sisters. It's great. But we have to shut it all down. We got some work to do. Now, Minneapolis, they fired everybody and they're starting over. And, you know, it's some changes being made. And, you know, the mayor took some money from the police department. So they're very angry. And the ones that are there that's been planted that have connections with the KKK, they have just been given the guidance to kill us, point blank. I saw a video the other day. So this young man was just murdered, and the man said, "I'm gonna, you know, shoot you. I'm gonna blow you. I'm gonna shoot you in your head." And he wasn't doing anything wrong. He was complying, and the man shot him anyway. And it was videoed. And I don't think it was supposed to get leaked, but it was another police officer that videoed it, which was really shocking. So, yeah, change is coming, but it's so many sacrificial lambs, and that disturbs me greatly. And, I mean, it's just really, there was ups and downs, and everybody I talked to felt the same way. They were crying one moment, then happy one moment that there's some progress has been made, but it's an up and down thing because it's a civil unrest. That's what it is. It's a civil unrest. We were already attacked by the COVID. A lot of people's jobs and finances and stuff have been attacked. And then they're going to start killing people, you know, but specifically targeting our men. But, you know, it's gotten to the point where you can't even be a sister and be asleep because look at what happened to Breonna Taylor. So it's just out of control. And we have to let the KKK know that we're not scared of them and this is going to stop. We just have to let them know that. And Trump has encouraged them and given them courage to get up and do the crap that they're doing. And I don't care who gets mad that I'm saying it. He has given them, it's like he gave them a go sign, like he gave them a green light to just cut up. I mean, the racism was always there. It never left. But it just got nasty since he got in office. It's just gotten beyond ridiculous. It was always there, which people act like they forgot. It was there. It just started getting nasty, getting worse and worse, But it's always been there, So I'm just praying that we have global change, that it's everywhere. They start over and fire the police officers and start over at these police academies. I just really hope that they do that so that we can move forward, and stop getting murdered for no reason.
Soul Kid, what do you feel?
Well, what I feel is that there have been a lot of distractions. Now, before I get on to what the distractions are, of course, I've been deeply touched. I'm seeing changes not only abroad, but in my very own neighborhood. Currently speaking, we have military that is propped up, walking through our residential areas and also up near the businesses. And there have been other things that have been planted that they're not going to show you on the news. So it goes back to some things I've been taught from my dad also being in the military, from being a scholar, ongoing scholar myself, and just not drinking the damn Kool-Aid, to be honest. I know that there's always has been a plan. This, what we're seeing right here, is part of the plan for the earthly realm. When I say that, as above, so below. So as below, we here on earth. And the plans that are going on right now are distractions. We have police brutality. Is that something new? I believe they're called the overseers. That goes back to slavery. That has changed the uniform. We have killing of our black men, of our women, of our children. That is something that's ongoing. That's not new. And the part here that we're talking about war and strategy, right? So how do you disable or dismantle your opponent? One of the most clearest ways is you have to distract them. So with distracting them, that means that instead of them going against who is really behind everything that's going on, it will have us fighting with one another. So guess what? We can kill each other. And it can be a race war when this is not about race at all. So what I feel about it is that I hope that more of our people start to wake up, start to have real conversations and not just put Band-Aids on things. And I hope and I wish the days for our hope and our wish are over. We have hope and wish our way out of everything. So what I say right now, what I feel, from me seeing it on the ground floor, seeing it every day, and I know what time the military comes into my neighborhood, and I know where they are. And I have pictures of them on my social media page.
Yeah, I've seen them out here.
5:45 a.m.
I've seen them out
every
here.
day. And they stand,
I've seen
they
them
stand outside, and guess what? This is a.
Go ahead.
They have M16s.
Yeah.
And there are children. There are elderly. There are all types of people living here. And this neighborhood has a lot of kids and a lot of elderly people. So we're seeing this every day. And are they loaded? Who's to say?
Hell yeah, them guns
but
loaded.
Out there. So
yeah, they listen. They didn't send all them folks out. They didn't send all them folks out. They didn't send all them folks out. Yeah, go ahead.
What I feel is what is going on is that we need to strategize. We need to see how can we dismantle our opponent instead of sitting there and looking at the KKK, because guess what? They're all over.
That's our inside.
We got Freemasons, Freemasoners, we have Masons. We have a long history of who is really in charge and the connecting the dots for all of us to see. It's right in front of our face. So how do you dismantle your opponent? What is one thing that everybody seems to care so much about that comes from trees? One is resources. But before the resources can get even planted, we have to start to change our mental. Because right now, half of our race is not mentally ready for the type of change that's going on. You have some that are and some that aren't. So that's why these conversations are very imperative. So for me, I see strategize, and I see don't get distracted by a distraction. This is not a race.
Hold on 1 second, Corey. 1 second, Corey. Let her finish. 1 second.
I was trying to make sure you can hear me.
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you.
But I see that.
Hold on. Let her finish right quick. Go ahead. Continue.
I am.
So I'm saying strategize. A lot of people don't like to look to your enemy, so to speak. Why not? Study your enemy. Because by studying your enemy, you will therefore know the next move they're going to make. It's chess. This is a game. We need to stop looking at it like this is our ultimate reality. No, it is not. The root word of justice is just us. That means we bring the justice. We don't wait for someone else to bring and hand us something. We didn't come from that type of mentality, type of thinking. One of the things I would say is strategize. And strategize, you have to research, you have to learn, you have to pay attention, you have to focus. You can't allow yourself to be having your head in the clouds.
Let me get Corey in here for a quick second.
Have these real conversations and pull your resources. I'm talking about land.
Hold on 1 second.
If you don't have enough to go into it by yourself, go ahead.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get Corey in here for a quick second.
Let me know if I can finish my statement.
Yeah, because we got a few people online, so I want to sort of spread the conversation out a little bit.
I'm wrapping it up. I just want to finish it up.
Okay, go ahead. Finish it up.
Resources.
They gave us no 40 acres yet. And they out there selling mules, so we ain't got no land. So I don't know how we going to do that. And that's for us all to come together. They're not locked up all our
land. You can purchase land over in Ghana.
The ones that ain't locked up
right now.
Killed. So now we got these young guys. Yeah, that's what we got. We got a group of young guys that's out here in the streets. That's doing the looting and robbing. And most of these guys don't have fathers. You know, some of them don't have that stability in the household. They don't know which direction to go into. That's the majority of what's going on. Everything you're saying, sister, is 100% right. Everything.
But brother, do you think it's really the people in the streets that are doing the looting, or do you think they've been planning to make us think that it's us only?
Oh, no. What I'm saying, we have two different. We coming from two different areas now. We have the ones that actually are educated, that has children, morals, and values, and then we have those that's out there on the streets. That's all they know is the streets. So even though we wear the same skin color, we don't have the same mindset. So what you're speaking on is to the ones that actually have an education. You know, they got kids they got to take care of.
Oh, no. I'm speaking to the hood, brother. I'm not speaking to the educated ones, because the educated ones have their face in the sand. I'm talking to the hood, because that's where most of the good businessmen are.
The hood don't even have wooden spoons. They got broken plastic spoons. They ain't trying to hear that. These are animals out here. These are animals. When I came back to Chicago, I came back.
They want you to believe in animals. I talked.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let him. I want to hear what he's saying right quick.
Special, but you're talking to the ones that's on your level. I'm out here with them, and I got an education. That you agree. Okay? I'm out here with them. I'm telling you, brother. Being out here with these guys and seeing what they present.
Brother, that's all I deal with. You can't tell me that I'm out here with the street soldiers. How do you know I know their lingo?
Hold on 1 second.
I'm talking to these street soldiers about what I'm saying on here, so they are aware.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let me talk to both of you right quick. Hold on 1 second. I need to talk to both of you right quick. 1 second. Corey. Hold on 1 second. Listen, we are on a phone call, so like people are listening, and it's hard to hear when it's more than one person talking. Like I'm even holding myself back so that I can hear. So please, allow somebody to finish their thought process, and then we'll be able to respond. You know, I understand that this is a hot topic. One second,
hard to catch
Corey.
up with
Corey,
what
hold
I'm
on
saying.
1 second, Corey. I'm gonna give you the floor, but let me finish clearing the floor. Okay, we have to be able to all get our points across. This is not a conversation that I expected everybody to agree on. This is not a conversation because we are so spread out on this situation that I want us to be able to hear each other. If we're all just talking to each other, nobody's hearing each other. So I just want us to be able to hear each other. So I want Corey to finish his comment, and then I want to hear Soul Kitten's reply. And then after that, I want to try to get to Miss Seiko. I think she's online, and I want to try to bring back in Latrice. Okay, let's go. Corey,
I'm here.
come on, finish your statement. Let's go.
The thing she's saying that we need to do as a whole, if we was to try and come, if there's 5 of us together, we get mouth education. If you look at what's going on out here, we don't have no leaders. None. They done locked up all the leaders that can control the people that's on this level. The people that's on these levels, these are the ones that are struggling. These are the ones that ain't got nothing. Half the people that done kicked out the projects and moved into these areas, what you think? They just committing crimes. They don't have education. They don't have anything. Everything she's saying is right, but it doesn't apply to the majority because the majority don't have the sense enough. They don't have the morals and values. If you see everybody that's looking out here in these streets, all these people that out here, they out here, right? Out here, I want you to corner store. They say the same stuff that they do too. They don't have common sense to know what they done is wrong. So those individuals that don't listen to their mothers, don't listen to their fathers, and does stuff like that, they're going to kill themselves out. Either they're going to get locked up or they're going to kill themselves out. Those who have morals and values, we playing. So like she said, it's a game. We play chess. But we cannot play this game unless we actually sit down in a room and play the game. Them guys in the streets, they got something planned for them. Martial law, the tanks, the police, all that. They got something planned for them. But what we need to do as the thinkers, we need to come together and discuss what's the next move as far as what we're going to do. Because imagine, and if we do that, they're going to try and come and us in. Whatever we do, it needs to be inside. It don't need to be broadcast or Facebook, social media, so they can be there before we get there and have a plan before we get there. Remember the Black Panthers?
Mm-hmm.
We need them right now.
Yeah. You sure do.
I've been against the service since I was 12. And right now, I would drop all that if Black Panther were to stand up right now because they stood for something. They didn't just ramshack and burn and plunder like the Saxons did. That's what our people just did. They just did to these streets and to our neighborhoods what the Saxons been doing since the beginning of time.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. This is one thing I want to say about that because before we get to going and talking about the destruction that happened, we have to acknowledge that a lot of the destruction did not even come from the black community. There were a lot of white people. There were a lot of Mexicans. There were a lot of all kind of people when the riots first started, and there were all kind of people looting. But we're the only ones getting the blame for it. Now that I wanted to make that correction right there because when we talk about the looting and stuff like that, we were a part of it, but it was not just us.
Right.
No, but on CNN they did say that. They said that there were people that were planted there. There were people that were planted there to start trouble. The policeman was caught with bricks, pulling bricks out of a truck. And these people were coming from all parts of the country and planted to start trouble. And they do know that we were not trying to just kick up some dust. They know that. They know that there were some people, and then there were opportunists, people that just wanted to loot because they saw an opportunity to grab some stuff and steal. There are going to be opportunists in all sorts of situations. But this time we do have something that we didn't have a lot of before. We have a lot of white people going out there and marching with us. and saying what's going on is wrong as well. And they know it's not all on us.
White people funded the Underground Railroad.
Let me see if you sound, Corey, you sound very far away from the phone. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's your connection or what, but you sound very far away. Let me go back to Batiste. I'm calling by her name now. Let me go back to Soul Kitten, and then I want to go I want to see what my girl Masako has to say about this. Let's go.
Well, first of all, Brother Corey, I hear you. It just does not resonate totally with my spirit. And the reason for that being is that everything is not cut and dry. That is what got us in this predicament before in slavery, with missing the signs. So the people that I'm talking to and building with are those that are street hustlers. They're not the ones with the white-collar jobs. So we can't afford, we cannot afford to be further poorly misguided, okay? This is a time for strategizing, and why shouldn't we pull together our resources and reach down and teach those that want to know? Don't waste the wisdom on those that don't want to know, but pour it into those that are willing and hungry to know. Because when you're strategizing and building with like-minded individuals, I do believe if two or more are gathered in a room, it's called the mastermind, it's called the mastermind team. If two or more are gathered in the room together, just think about what can be done. Now, who comes into that meeting? And the game is not played just behind the scenes. What I mean by that, it's not just played sitting in a room. You got to move with action. You got to move with manifestation. In order to do that, you got to move as a well-oiled machine. Now, it is right and it is true that there were looters out there. I see they busted out the windows in my neighborhood. In major stores, it was a planned robbery where no alarm went off for the Philadelphia Firefighters Credit Union. So when I say I'm seeing things from the ground floor, this isn't something I'm seeing on CNN. I'm seeing how they're also using stencil to put and plant things in different neighborhoods, mainly some that are white neighborhoods that may not take too kindly to a browner skin. They have Black Lives Matter put out there. Now, yes, you do have some that stand with us, and you do have some that stand against us. You have some of our own that don't even stand with us. It's not about color. It's not about education per se, meaning education based on their systematic way of thinking. Education is an ongoing thing. Education is you're a scholar.
Corey, let her finish.
So in doing that, am I still talking? Hello. I held my peace to allow you to speak. Allow me to do the same, brother. Thank you very much. So in looking at this, we have to study who. I'm going to get you right. Know the enemy should not know our next move. But I can give out a few names that our people should be looking at right now because this is what we're living through. And the other things I want to say about martial law that it doesn't affect us, well, I got a question mark by that. If it affects one, it affects all. It's just how you deal with it. And we cannot afford to have that same blinded mentality that we have been living thus far with. Okay? We cannot have that no more. There's no room. No room for stupidity.
And now they're putting it in the air.
They've been putting it. We're acting like this just happened. I need our people to wake up. This did not just happen. This has been brewing. And please do not think this all has to do with Donald Trump. Do you know that Donald Trump is a pawn? Huh?
I didn't even
Do you know that Donald Trump is not really, no president really runs the country? That's another conversation.
1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, I can't hear two people.
That's what I'm saying.
That are right there on the ground floor.
Listen. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna say this one last time. I'm gonna say this one last time. Hold on.
And whenever I heard anybody else talk on here,
hold on.
They've gotten the right to finish their statement. I have not yet finished my statement.
Corey. Hold on. Time out. I keep stating this because I'm not concerned about you guys having difference of opinion. My concern is for the listener that is trying to listen to the show and they cannot hear two people, because I can't hear two people, and I hear people on the line saying that they can't hear two people. So even if you do not agree with what somebody is saying, please wait until your turn. That's all I'm asking. It's listen. If we can't sit on the phone and get something resolved, how the hell are we gonna get it straight in the streets? Like I'm hearing everybody's opinion, but we gotta be able. We have to be able to listen and wait our turn for the next person to speak. Just because we have an opinion and we feel some way differently about what that person is saying, we cannot just jump into the conversation. Let the person finish. I understand that both of you are very long-winded. I'm giving you a chance. I'm trying to get other people in on the line. So what I'm going to do at this point in time, I'm going to try to bring my girl Masako in on the line. Masako, are you there?
Well, yes, I'm here.
Talk to me.
Okay. First of all, I just want to say good evening and sorry for being tardy. Stuff happened. Secondly, yeah, all this stuff going on. From someone who works with the government, who comes from a family of government officials, a lot of this stuff has been whispered about for a very long time. Having been on the ground, like we, and just having a lot of insider knowledge on other things that have happened, just even here within our own city, it's not all it's cracked up to be. When you talk about, the white folks being placed in and claiming to do things in the name of Black Lives Matter or doing the looting or whatever, they completely decimated a mall in an area of the city Black folks don't really go to. Another mall in another part of the city where Black folks know you really don't supposed to go down there. They went and because people started looting it, they went in there and they boarded it up. They took and confiscated bricks and spray paint and all kinds of things of that nature from white people. They were the ones that were doing the looting. Yes, we have in some areas just gotten absolutely positively fed up, and we have decided, you know what, some folks have absolutely lost their minds. They have said, you know what, nothing is going to change until we make this happen. What I personally worry about in all of this is the small business owners and, the mom and pop shops that are affected by the looting and the things of that nature. The big corporations, their stuff is insured. They'll get their money back. They'll rebuild. A lot of them are already, are having issues in the problems that they were attacked in the first place. So, that's just like, oh, see, that just proves our point. We need to put more money into security and blah, blah, blah. So, coming from a business standpoint, a lot of this, like I said, it's been whispered about for a long time now. This ain't nothing new. As far as being boots on the ground, and talking to people who are in the hood, I work on all levels. I work from those who, never graduated high school to those who have multiple degrees. We are all out here, and like she said, if it affects one of us, it affects all of us. So those, we're not affected by this, we're not affected by that. In my home, I live on probably the northernmost edge of the city. I am practically in another city in the area that I live. Martial law does affect us because we have police stationed outside of our housing division. And if someone left, we have doctors, we have all kinds of medical professionals that live in this division. When people were leaving, they had to state to the officers why they were leaving because we're on curfew, and that's a real thing. So it does affect all of us. Over in the hood, yeah, they have actual full-blown military over in the hood areas. But you know what? They out there, and we've had police officers to put their stuff down and to walk with us as we protest. So you can't just be like, it doesn't affect everybody, or that it doesn't, it doesn't all, what, like she said, what affects one affects us all. And it's not all of us. And it's not just, all the uneducated blacks are the ones out there, ripping and running. Nah, because it's not just, like I said, because it's not just the uneducated blacks. Because we're not the only ones that are affected by this. So I'm just speaking on that alone, because I'm not very feed fuel into the rest of everything else that's been going on and the debating and whatnot. I'm not going to feed fuel into that. All I'm going to say is I agree 100%. What happens to one or what affects one affects us all, because we're all having to be out here dealing with it. It affects every single one of us.
Okay, I have a question. I want to start with Soul Kitten. Soul Kitten, with the question of changing the mindset, how do we change the mindset of, I want to start with the family. How do we, because that's what the show is to be about as well.
You're breaking up, Russ. I can't understand the question. Can you repeat it, please?
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me back?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. This is my question. As it relates to the family structure, because I believe that it has to start at home first. You know what I'm saying? You have to build some type of foundation at home first before we can, even attempt to try to take this on in a large scale. So what would be your approach, or what would be your word to people in how to get a better grip of their family right now? Does that make sense?
Three easy steps. 3 easy steps. And actually just one step. Take the ego out of it. Mentality, spirituality, emotionally, and mentally. Take the ego out of it. Like I tell people that I work with currently, I don't talk to egos. I talk to minds, which is not in your head. I talk to hearts and souls, not egos. Because egos have a tendency to self-sabotage and think they know everything, and they don't. So the first place I would start, 3 places for the Trinity. Infinite love in the home. That's not conditional. There's no such thing as unconditional and conditional. It's infinite. Love just is. That's one place. The next step is the mentality of that unit. Because everything starts with the mental. The first principle, the Hermetic principle, is a principle of mentalism. And then the third is strategizing. That happens through conversations. That happens through enlightenment. That happens through prayer, meditation, whatever suits your fancy for your home unit. But I say it better be a Trinity up in there. That's the first place to start. And the Trinity and strategizing and talking about all these big things that we're saying on this line right now, the ego cannot exist. Because guess what? The ego will mess it up. So in the home, take the ego out of everybody. And return back to what really matters. What everybody claims that they're reading about in their Bibles, or in mosque, or in the hall, or in temples. Now is the time to put that into practice. So I would say teach your family how to walk it like they talk it. I'm done.
Okay. I'm about to open up the...
Quiet. I'm not allowed to speak.
Corey, you about to... Corey, hold on. Corey, hold on. Let me say something.
I can't even elaborate on
Corey, this is your first time calling the show. First of all, let me say something to you. This is a show, and I have said this a numerous amount of times on the show today. Let everybody speak. There's more than one person on the phone. There are more than one person on the phone. You being aggressive with the conversation.
Exactly. And when the first
But
lady
listen,
spoke,
whoa, you
when the
cannot
first
be
lady
aggressive
spoke,
with the
you saw
conversation. You cannot
when
be
it spoke-
aggressive with the
when the first lady
conversation.
spoke, you said, let Corey speak. And then when I spoke, then you brought another lady in. They came in, and I was trying to elaborate. So when she started speaking,
And I'm
I
getting
started
ready.
elaborating on
Listen,
what
this
she
is
was
the
talking.
crazy part, bro.
I
I'm
never
getting
had
ready
a
to give
chance
you
to
the
even
floor, but
elaborate
you.
on the first
I'm
lady.
getting
But
ready
I'ma
to
be
give you
quiet
the
and
floor,
listen.
but you not
I'm
you.
gonna sit back and listen.
I think that's fine. Then
I'm
you.
gonna sit back and listen.
That's fine. Then you sit back and listen, brother. Because listen, I'm not gonna get into a debate with you with who I'm gonna bring in to speak next, and I have multiple people on the line. Okay, Latrice, come on, speak to me.
All right, here's my thing. I just want to say that the thing is, my father worked for he worked for the post office, but he was in the Air Force, and my brother, he also was in the Army, and so they were in the military. And the thing about it is, the Ku Klux Klan has been operating for centuries. Okay, and we all know this. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to know this. They've been planted in the police forces, okay? And they're everywhere. And it's bigger than Trump. But the thing about it is they back him because they have that same backwoods thinking, that they're going to make America great again. But when was it ever great? Because the country was built on the backs of slaves. They took advantage of and killed Native Americans. I can go on. Who hasn't been gotten over on? But the point is, we do have to pay attention. And it's not so much that educated people are not paying attention, because they are. It's just that they're so busy in their lives with their jobs and dealing with those sorts of things. Or some of them are still trying to get degrees, so they're so busy. But they know what's going on. And the thing about it is what's really wonderful is when you are educated and you have street knowledge as well. Meaning you can have 3 or 4 degrees and you have a brother or two that's a gangbanger. You have friends that you've grown up with and they were in gangs. It's good to be educated and know what's going on in the streets, not just have your head buried in a book. But, it's nothing wrong with being educated.
Okay.
At all.
Okay.
But I would say be educated and have street knowledge at the same time, and be open-minded and see that it's all a strategic game. From this COVID and all of it, it's all a strategic game. And we as Black people need to learn how, like what's going on with the phone right now. That's why we're divided, because nobody wants to respect one another. That's the whole problem with Black people. We fight each other. If we would learn to work with one another, listen to one another, and build together, we would get somewhere. And we would be able to knock our oppressors down. That's part of the problem.
Okay, but this is my question though. I want to tie that back into the family though. How like what is your message to the family? How would you start it off? What is your message to anybody listening right now? They got kids at home, and they worried about their kids. They worried about They worried about the police. They worried about the finances. They worried about what just happened in their neighborhood. I'm talking about people in the hood right now. So what would a parent say to their children to try to get them to restructure their mindset? Latrice.
Well, I'm waiting for Corey and them to talk. I mean, you said you wanted to talk, right?
Yeah, cool. I ain't trying to say. I don't want to talk. I want to actually have a conversation and not a dictatorship. I don't want to sit on the phone for 32 minutes and listen to some. No disrespect. A nurturer tell us what we need to do as protectors. That's the part that's getting me. I mean, everything I'm listening. I never said anything you and the lady before you. I said everything you all saying is right. I said that,
Right.
but that's
Right.
right for a group of individuals. That's not going to apply to the ones that's really out. You know what I'm saying? The ones that's really out here that don't have the education, that don't have the things that you and I have. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones that we need to get across to. And we wear the same skin color as them. We need to get across to them. Because ain't nobody else, they're not listening to nobody else. They're the same children that we have that we say, and I got 7 kids, 3 grandkids. They're the same children that we say, and 4 of my children are mixed. 3 of my children are white. So I was with a white woman for 20 years. So I see things from their perspective as well. And right now, what we need to do, we need to only worry about ourselves and get our own self together. Look at the people that's got the same color as you, and we need to pull all ourselves together. We don't need to look at them for nothing. We don't need no black mileage, nothing, because if there's no black people sponsoring it or black people putting them up, we don't need their help. We don't need that because they're going to be infiltrating the things we're doing. We need to do something for ourselves, like all the other nationalities do. We need to keep it in silence, like the KKK. We need to be quiet and don't say nothing. We need to have codes. We need to have signals, all that, because this right now, stage 4 martial law, it's only a matter of time before they start coming in the houses. If anybody put them surveys out thinking they're going to get a stimulus check, all they need that information to know how many people in your house. During martial law, between the first 4 stages, they can come in and separate the houses, take the women out of the houses, take the children out of the houses, all that. By giving up this information and by them putting a number on it because people think they're getting a check, everybody done sent their information in. Now they done posted up these martial law people, these tanks and Hummers and everything on residential blocks. They built a casualty base on 170 of 10 years ago. So nobody even know that, but I lived out that way. In the quarry, and my man knew about it. In the quarry over there on 170, across to go to Lincoln Hall, that big old dip thing is the casualty base they built down there. They've been preparing for this for the longest. We need to be ready to make a stand. I hate to say it. I really do. But look at the numbers of people that have already killed in silence, just from keeping things a secret. The American approved experimentation with the COVID virus in 2012 here in America, but they didn't want to experiment with it, so they bought the technology from China on the agreement that China will practice it there. And what happened? They got sick from that stuff, and then it came back over here because you can't do something there and don't think it's going to come back here. And they want to make it seem like this is all something out the realm. No, they're planning to kill us, sister. For real. Those with the jobs and the education and all that, they're killing them too. Look at Hollywood. They're killing them. They're killing everybody. So are we going to sit back? And I hate to say I don't want to have to get out here and fight and all that, but I so don't want to toot my butt up and just let them stick me in it for lost words. This is real. This is what's going on. This is really what's going on. I got 3 kids out in Hammond and Lansing that I can't even get to, and it's a headache. But I'm looking at what my people did. They're mad. They're angry. There's some people that they handle things that way. But we're the ones that think we're the brainiacs. So we should be able to get across to them and let them know, look, okay, I understand what you did. I really do. I felt that same way. But I felt that I can do that and use that energy in a different direction. So that's what we need to do. We need to come with a solution and stop telling people, y'all ain't stop burning the police station out. Everybody on this line right now and had a situation with the police. That's kind of hard for me to just linger towards at least not one police department getting burnt down. My question is, wasn't nobody in there, was it? No, wasn't nobody in there. Okay, well, burn it down. You know what I'm saying? Because they done shot my family. I done had times when I'm riding a pedal bike and they try to pull me up and put a gun on me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I got a question for you,
this
Corey.
Is real stuff.
Hold on, I got a question for you, Corey.
I got to snatching the woman off the street. I ain't even went to there selling body parts. I ain't got to that.
Hold on, Corey. Corey, I got a question for you. Okay, because you talking about tear stuff up. what about the people in these neighborhoods like 71st, like like I'm talking about the city that me and you both know, 71st, the low end
where
west,
I'm at right now.
the west side, certain areas where stores and shit are tore up that they not gonna open back up for. You know what I'm saying? And like this is what people don't understand. Hold on, this is what people don't understand. You like, how is the city gonna recover? I'm gonna tell you how they gonna recover. They not gonna open up everything that was there in the beginning. And second of all, what they gonna do is they gonna hit you with taxes. Shit gonna go up in certain communities. So like, how does that work? You know what I'm saying? Because like,
Okay.
if you saying, hold on, let me finish.
First, we
Hold
have
on,
to-
let me finish. I gave you a minute to talk, bro. This is my turn. You know what I'm saying? So like, how do you say go fuck shit up and it affects us in the end? Like, like if you think about it, okay, yeah, they hit downtown, but if you think about like the real white neighborhoods, they ain't nobody fucked with that shit. It's our shit that's fucked up. We the motherfuckers ain't gonna have, like, think about it. The Mexicans in our city is already gone viral. Are like, yo, y'all can't even come over here because we ain't gonna even get involved in that shit. And I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Like, some of them was out here looting with us, but now they like, fuck it. Y'all ain't gonna come over to our neighborhood and fuck up and do what the fuck that you allowed motherfuckers to do in your neighborhood. Like, that's my issue with what my people is doing right now. Because, yo, if you gonna fuck something up, fuck it up with a cause. Don't go fucking up everything and then you gotta suffer for it later. That momentary shit that's going on right now, I guarantee you a month from now, 2 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, they gonna feel it. They gonna feel it.
Okay, can I elaborate on it?
Yeah, please do.
Well, first of all, I want to say, as a people, technically, we don't own shit. Nothing. And those mom and pop stores that get tore down or whatever, they wouldn't have them stores if they didn't have insurance. So once again, the white man has his hand in that. So the reason how we solve this problem about the things that you say that we tore up, that we blown, that it blown in our community, whatever, we didn't build this community. We didn't have to stay here, and we didn't build these businesses that they put in here. They put these businesses in our area to make money off us. I've been driving around through the Guala areas all today for the last 3 days trying to add money on a debit card. I just realized that we, as a people, can go to an ATM and put your card in there, add money on your card. Nowhere in none of these gas stations, none of that. You got to go outside your area to a Latino area or a Caucasian area just to add money on your card. To me personally, coming from Ohio, that's basically saying that black people don't pay no bills. That's what, and I've been with a white woman for 20 years, so I'm looking from a different perspective. I'm just saying, just being pro-black. I've been, I just came from the land. Now. So I'm looking at it from a perspective. We don't own nothing in our communities to say anything about what we don't get. If we don't get it, take some of these drug dealers that don't own any houses and get all these 4, 5, 6 different cars and ask them to invest in your own community. That's what we need to do. All these little ballers and these hustlers around here that don't own nothing need to own something. That's what we need to do. And as a cap, we don't even have fathers in the household, let alone the women that's being the daddy. And how the woman going to keep the household together when she got to go to work and work overtime? Let's look at it. Let's look at the real picture. Because the ones out here are the kids. I'm 46 years old. Everybody on this phone right now, I bet we over 40. We got kids. We got responsibilities. 9 to the 10, hell no, we ain't going out there. We're trying to protect our kids. But we got a group of individuals out there that ain't got that guidance of leadership or history. They don't have that knowledge of self. They don't know what morals and values. And what we need to do is need to get across to them. Because those are the frontliners.
Maseko.
Those are frontliners. Go ahead, I'm listening.
I want to bring Maseko in.
Because this is war. This ain't no parlay.
Maseko.
So, yes.
You can't be blind.
Your name's not Maseko.
What
Don't
I wish
be quiet. It's Maseko turn.
Okay, I'm listening.
So as far as needing to get a hold to those people, and those, those are the people that we need to talk to and this and the other, I agree. However, because we're talking about, the drug dealers who are out there who own the 5 or 6 cars and who are doing this and that and the other, but, and the ones that are out there and they're tearing stuff up and, and they're not really, they don't have any structure or whatnot. Okay, it's all well and good to say those are the people we need to get a hold to. And, on a lot of levels, you're absolutely correct. However, I know several drug dealers. I'm not necessarily proud to. Well, I'm not. Like I said, I know people from all walks of life. You're not going to say to them, take that money that you're making out there on the street and use it to. I mean, some of them do. Some of them do a whole lot of very charitable things. But at the end of the day, it's still all about their money, and they still going to do what benefits them. As far as rebuilding in their communities, no. As far as rebuilding in their communities, yeah, like I said, they're gonna do some charitable act, but they're not going to do anything that's going to have the government to looking at them. We can say that's what we need to do, but they not. That's not how they're getting ready to move. For one, for two, you talked about the mothers not being able to hold down the household and not being able to do this, that, and the other. Just because we're single mamas and we have to work, that don't mean that our children are running wild. That does not mean our children are running wild. Got 5 of them, 5 honest students. Not a nary one of them running wild. I was down there when they were protesting. I was down there. When people started looting, I was the one snatching people back going, y'all know we're not going to do this. That's not how we get ready to do. I was down there, not my children. So don't talk about we sitting around, we sitting back from it, it don't affect us. And the businesses that are in our neighborhood, okay, so they've gone and they've looted all these stores. They've torn all this shit up. They've done all this chaos. So next month, when Antoinette, who don't have a car, and, the buses right now, the city officials are like, we done shut everything down. We're barely going to let buses and public transportation come out there. Where's she going to go get some Pampers and some milk? Because everything in the neighborhood has now been torn up. Because we didn't go out there, when we went out there, you're not going to talk over me. When we went out there into the neighborhoods and we started tearing shit up, we tore up our own shit.
Facts.
You're saying, no, that we don't own that. Okay, that's fine. Even if whether we own it, whether the Arabs own it, whoever owns it, the fact that we tore it up, yeah, they have insurance money, but that insurance money, they're going to take it and they're going to go somewhere else. So now what are those people in that community supposed to do now that everything's been torn up? Again, I don't argue with what they did. I know people who are fed up, who are tired. I sympathize for those mom and pop shops. That's where my heart goes out. But to be perfectly honest, I'm not one of those people that's just burn it all down because, again, like I said, I see it from both angles. I see it from, the person on the street, and I also see it from, people who are looking at the inside, the memos and shit, and the government going, is that really what y'all going to do? Do y'all know people can see this? So, yeah, it's not going to be a matter of, okay, we need to go out here. Yeah, we do. We need to go out here and grab a hold of these kids. Just like I did that night one of these nights when they were out here protesting. I've been out there 3 nights, grabbing young people, especially ones that I know, grab them. Now, it don't work like this. Your mama wouldn't approve of this. And a lot of the kids that were down there were not the ones causing the destruction. There were the Hispanics that were causing the destruction. There were the white folks who were causing the destruction. Yeah, a lot of the black folks was down there, and they were like, yeah, and they were revved up, and they were rioting. But at the same time, all this death, they're showing pictures of all this destruction and all this stuff that has happened, and they're going, oh, yeah, the Black Lives Matter protesting. So all they're hearing are the black protesters. That's all anybody's hearing. Black, not Lives Matter, just black protesters. We're not even the main. I can't say that we're not the majority, but we're not the ones causing the destruction. Not on the Huntington Bank. Huntington Bank here was absolutely positively decimated. They have the video for this. Guess what color? Guess what race was not amongst the 8 people that looted that bank? Not a one of them was us.
And that's
so
what.
Yeah, we're talking about a whole real diverse population.
And that's something that's bothering me, because a lot of the stuff that's going on is not coming from us, but we are catching a rap for it. And then on top of that, we do have people out here revolting in such a way that it's just idiotic, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Hey, if you got a different opinion, I'm going to give y'all the phone line number in case y'all just tuned in. Dial 701-802-5290. And the access code is 490-7349. And press the pound button. But definitely, it's like, I get. This is what you know what I'm saying. I'm really trying to get people to understand. I get if you want to cause a revolution. I don't get destruction of your own shit. I don't get, and I'm talking about for, now we have made the description and we have made the distinction of, other people coming into our neighborhoods and doing shit, but I'm talking to my people now. When you go and fuck up your own shit, when you go down to the corner store and you fuck up the corner store, and then you sit there a week later and you got to get something for the house, and you got to travel now far, because I know certain areas you can't go to. It's fucked up. Like, I literally saw, I don't know if y'all know, it's a place here in the Illinois area, Chicago area, called Chuck's Gun Shop. And 2 nights ago, I'm rolling past, and I see nothing but National Guards outside in the hood. And then I go down a little bit further. I don't see them at the liquor store. I don't see them at the grocery store. I see them at the gun shop, and I see them outside of the bank.
They all wanted to protect us.
They protecting they shit. And this is my issue. I'm so scared that somebody gonna go out there one day and just be like, yo, I'm gonna do some stupid shit to fuck with them, and not be prepared for the harm that they gonna bring on themselves and possibly others that are around them, because like them things that they shooting, they gonna tear some shit up. You feel what I'm saying? If they decide to go nuts in our own community, after we already fucked it up. We've already fucked it up. And listen to me. We've already fucked up our own community. Now we got the boys sitting in here waiting for us to do some shit so they can fuck us up even more. At what point doesn't that make sense to people? Like, I understand if you want to get together, you want to, create a revolution. You want to, I understand. I'm listening to all y'all opinions, but it does not make sense to me. And ain't nobody said nothing to me about what we doing to our own selves in the midst. Because see, this is the thing. What we just got through witnessing, I guarantee you, it'll be a good 5 to 10 years before our communities are even anything to what we are used to that community being. It's going to be like crazy. It hasn't even really gotten crazy yet because we still got a little food in the house. We still got a few things, but in a minute, it's going to be even crazier. You forget that most people ain't even working because of Corona. So you take the fact that people ain't even working, first of all, then you put a riot into the area. Come on. Like, at some point, we got to have... Hold on one second. And so at some point, we got to have some type of thought process and not participate in shit that's going to fuck us up. You feel what I'm saying? That's just like me getting mad right now and going and burning up my car, or coming into my crib and setting shit on fire or breaking shit in my house. Who does that hurt? That doesn't hurt nobody outside. That hurts me.
But we didn't build none of that stuff out there.
It don't matter if I built it. Listen, it don't matter if I built it. If it's mine, it's mine.
The white people built their community. They built their own community. Okay, they built that. They built their stuff. We didn't build this. This is what we can afford. This is what people can afford to live in. Okay, that's number one. Okay, number two, as far as what we're gonna do, as far as the things going on, the war is coming to the front door. You looking at stores, basically what y'all put on the table is materialistic things that could be, built again. We're talking about lives here. We got lives of people that's been murdered in the street. Chicago has taken the murder rate from New York and California. We bumped up with 100%. Okay? You're looking at, this is a war zone. Life as we know it would change. When that 9/11 hit, when Daniel said what he said, life as we know it would change. You would pay your bill and flip the light, and the light won't come on. You would pay your bill and turn the faucet, and the water won't come on. These are those times. Reason why we might starve or we might not have these things is if we're ignorant, because we made everything. When we're going to realize who we are, we made everything. Everything that the white man got right now came from us. Everything. So when we're going to realize this as a people and just keep our pearls to ourselves and just build on our own, we don't need them for anything. They need us. They need us for everything. You know what I'm saying is true. They can't do anything. Anytime they see a black man do something, they try and take it. Every time. The black man gets $8 an hour, but the white guy he's training getting 15. Come on, we know what's going on. Stop giving them the stuff. They took it. Now we realize they took it. Now we so used to being so comfortable with the way life is that we so scared to get out here and battle for what we got left. Because they're going to take it. They're going to take it. They're really going to take it. If I didn't sit in a library with Levy Hoover when I was locked up, I would not have known about this stuff that's going on right now. If Mel Reynolds, the political politician that was my tutor in Vienna, didn't educate me to what to beware of and what to do when this happened, they all said, you want to be ready to fight. When a lot of women are saying what they're saying, I understand what they're saying, but y'all humbly, y'all nurturers. Y'all nurturers. Y'all backbones. We need these men. We need the men to stand up. Y'all women need these men. Y'all need them. You know your baby, even if y'all ain't, I don't know y'all business, but if y'all not with y'all baby daddy, I know the baby daddy ain't going to let it happen to his seed. That's the number one man that's going to stand up right there. No disrespect. No other man. I'm just saying. The other man going to run his kids. Just listen to what's going on. This is war. Y'all talking about the corner stores, Habibis own them. The Arabs own them. Don't no black people own no gas stations. Don't no black people own no grocery stores. We can't even grow corn in our backyard without getting a citation. This. We don't own nothing. We need to come together, and then we got resources because we got knowledge. We know them people know how to do that. We know they know. We got carpenters. We got electricians. We got doctors. We got lawyers. We need to keep it to ourselves. That's real talk. And we share anything with them. If we share an inch, they're going to take a mile. We're going to lose 100 people. Every time they step in and get involved in us. You want to know why we ain't got nothing? Back in slavery, when they gave us our freedom, they really didn't. When we got out into the land and we didn't have nothing, and we did build us a house or build a hut, we didn't have appliances. So you know what we went? To the general store. And what they do? Credit. Get all y'all money out to our bank accounts. Keep your own money because they gain an interest off of that. Real talk. We know these things. Even the educated people know this. But they're so used to being this way. That day is over. I'm sorry. I did 4 years in the penitentiary. I've been educated by some real people. I sought out these people to get the real knowledge. I just didn't want to be, I just didn't want to be no gangster disciple. I wanted to understand what it meant. And GD don't stand for all this other stuff these niggas on the street doing. If you're not growing, what are you developing into? I found out what I am and who I am and what I need to do out here. I know what I need to do. I need to be prepared as a man to leave my front door and go out in these streets and in these pastures and protect my family. Because if I don't, it's coming to the front door. They own your blocks.
Yeah.
They already didn't get these traps in.
But see, listen, you still haven't.
It's coming.
You still have not answered my question. Listen, I hear some of the stuff that you're saying, and I agree with some of the stuff that you're saying. But when it comes down to fucking up your own shit in your own community, and you take resources away from your own, that's what I have an issue with.
What
you cannot hold on. Hold on. Listen.
We didn't build.
Listen to me, brother. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck who owns shit on the block. I understand that point in that logic. I understand that. But when that's what's in what my resources are. See, you misunderstanding the point. People are taking away their own resources, man. Like it's crazy. I can see, like, if it was like, that's why I keep saying the word revolution. I can understand if it was a revolution and I was going to take somebody else's shit over to destroy where I'm at, where I gotta lay my head. You feel what I'm saying?
Who is the white man's resource?
What?
Who is the white man's resource? Us. The white man's resource is the minority. That's their resources.
I'm not talking about. Listen, I'm not talking about the white man. Listen, I'm not talking about the white. Listen. You keep taking it to the white man. Listen, whoa. Pause. Bro. You, calm your nerves. Calm your nerves, bro.
That's why egos are not permitted in Congress.
I want to. It's already destroyed.
Hold on. I want to hear from. I want to hear from Soul Kid. Let's go.
Are you going to answer the question?
Okay.
You want me to answer the question?
The resources has been destroyed. These are not our This is not our community. We need to come together and discuss what we're going to do from this point on and not look at what they have and what we destroyed as a resource. That's what I'm saying. We can't fall back on that because, like you said, a lot of the things they're not going to bring back, or they might not bring back at all.
We do have communities. We do have a community.
We on the Walmart or Jules, Fires.
No.
So
we have a community in Los Angeles called Leimert Park, and it's a lot of affluent black people that live in that area, and white people have tried to come into that area and take over and move in and try to take over and change the mall and all that. But we have to have meetings, and we have to get city officials and councilmen involved. And we have to make sure that we meet so they won't do it. We have to keep our voice. If you keep your voice, you voice your opinion, and you're paying money in the area, and you own a home, or you are spending money and you are spending $1,900 a month in the community, I disagree. You do too have a voice in the community. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So it is your community, and you have to rise up. You can't look at it like, oh, well, they own it, so I have no voice. That's why we have Trump in office now. Well, if we vote, we still, it's still not going to matter. That's why people don't vote. But the reason why you should vote is because people lost their lives preparing a way for you so that you can vote. It doesn't matter if you own the building.
Hold on 1 second.
That look like you.
Hold on 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. I want to bring a little clarity because we've been throwing a word around here. So I decided to look it up, and we're using the word community. The definition of community is a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common. That has nothing to now you understand what I'm saying? When I'm saying you're destroying your community,
exactly.
You're destroying what belongs to you. I understand that other motherfuckers own it. I understand that. That's possession. Hold on, I'm not finished. I'm not finished. Possession is one thing. You feel what I'm saying? But what's in my community, where I live, listen what it says, a group of people living in the same place. That's my community. You feel what I'm saying? That's where I live.
Exactly.
That's where I live, man. at the end of the day, when I'm tearing up where I live, I don't see the.
We in two separate.
I'm not finished, bro. Listen, you have been. Listen, bro. Listen, bro. Listen. Let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. You have been. Bro. Let me tell you something, bro. You have been. I appreciate you calling the show, but you have been like combative on everybody today. Like, I swear to God, and I keep trying to tell you that we have different opinions and you have to respect the other opinions. You don't respect the other opinions because you don't even allow nobody to speak. Bro, let somebody speak. And then you have the floor. I keep saying that. Like, just because I don't agree with everything that you're saying, that does not mean I'm not giving you a chance to speak. That does not mean I'm not giving Latrice a chance to speak. I'm listening to everybody, and I've had a difference of opinion with quite a few things that I've heard tonight. Not from one person, but I'm not bashing nobody, bro. This is not about we ain't gonna get nowhere bashing each other, bro, at all. And at the end of the day, what I was saying is a community is a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common. At the end of the day, when they destroyed that community, they destroyed all of what they have in common, whether who owned it or whatever. At the end of the day, when that's the grocery store that you've been going to for 10 years to get your shit, to get you what, because your mama sent you down there, that's your community store, bro. Like, real shit. That's shit that and there are black people in the community that own shit, bro. There are black people that were affected by other black people and other races that fucked up they shit.
And they pay taxes to a white man.
I want to hear from who else do I got online? I know I got Batiste online. Man, Soul Kitten, talk to me.
What would you like me to say?
I don't know. I want to hear what's on your mind. Like, I'm not here to listen. I'm not here to gauge anybody's temperature. I'm here to have conversations, because at the end of the day, if somebody out there listening agrees 100% with Corey, if somebody out there listening agrees 100% with Latrice, and if somebody out there believes 100% with me, hey, I'm not here to say who's right and who's who's.
I hear all that, and I agree with all that. But this is the reason why I say I don't talk to egos. I only talk to spirit, hearts, and souls, because egos put in extra stuff that does not need to be. So in this conversation, talking about what we're talking about, which is supposed to be solution-based, all the extra is really unneeded. Are we going to have difference of opinion? Yes, but it would be nice to show people that are listening that as black people, especially black people, that we can disagree. And what that means is that, look, let me pull this into perspective for a second. Let me pull this into perspective. Everybody on this line has an opinion, okay? And to be quite honest, opinions, like my friends used to say, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, all right? So with that being said, everybody has a particular value system. And in that value and moral system, it helps to shape their ideas and their thought process. And so they have a different perspective. But guess what? That is their truth, because they're the ones walking in those shoes. So I can't tell somebody who's a Latrice that lives in California, and I've been to that park that you talked about. I've done work with the homeless in California. It'll be like me sitting there telling her that she's lived there, I don't know for how long, but longer than me. I was just visiting. I was doing work out there. It's like me going and telling her about her neighborhood, and I don't have not a damn clue. It's like me sitting there telling her that she's lying. And that's not the case. No more than someone can sit there and say the same about me. We all have what is called shared experiences. And in those shared experiences come solutions. You cannot sit there and say, I'm going to dismiss somebody. Now, what if I said, because you were incarcerated, Brother Corey, that I don't want to listen to a damn thing that you got to say because you are an incarcerated brother? That would be very ignorant of I, wouldn't it? Yes, indeed. So we don't do things like that. We don't say things like that. We can't sit here and judge nobody because the way they talk or the way they don't talk, or because the way they view things and the way they don't view things, or because the way someone wants to put something and project it on you. we don't have time for all that small, low level, which is actually demonic energy. When we're talking about the ego. So, with that being said, the number one thing is take the ego out of the conversation. And let's get back to the real things at hand, which is tearing up our neighborhoods. And it's not only us that's tearing up our neighborhoods. There are people that are planning in there to do such things, to put it on us. So it's all different pieces of the puzzle. Just like the Wiz, you got to follow the yellow brick road. You got to pick up them damn clues and find your power. And in your power, you're going to start to strengthen others. And it only does that by being authentic and honest. And you can't do that if you're stuck in your ego. This is going to be the death of us. This has been the death of us, is our ego. The reason why you hear many black people, myself included, I used to say this for a long time, oh, you can't work with our kind. And I'm not going to say that our kind in America, because our brothers and sisters abroad are a lot different than us over here in America. So we need to get out of our own ass, basically, and learn from one another. Learn. Open your mind. The reason why they say imagination is so important, especially here, is because it keeps you open. It keeps you evolving. If our earth operated the same way as us in our human form, we will be shit out of luck. I'm just going to tell you that. If our earth acted the same way as our fickle human selves, we would be out of luck. Let's tell us something right there. Stop bullshit. Who gives a goddamn who learned what to wear? It's about pulling our resources, pulling together in love, not in ego, not to say I'm better than another other person or this person. You're saying that, hey, I love you. Can you do that? Can you generally say during these times, especially, I love you, and put your egos to the side?
Latrice.
Have conversations like this, man. I don't see any debate about crap that don't need to be debated about. It is pulling together.
Girl, I got my fist up. She said some powerful stuff.
This is how my thought process goes. That's why I don't understand all this separatism talk. Separate from what?
Yeah.
Separate from what? So my brother, as a nurturer, guess what? We're also protectors, because check this out. Brother, I'm going to give you a little lesson now. In the animal kingdom, you got the lion and the lioness. Guess who's out there doing the hunting? Guess who's out there also killing? Big animals, small animals. The lioness. We are natural born hunters, brother, and yes, we do need y'all protection. But we don't need your ego.
Mm-hmm. You don't know my mama. So I don't see that.
And I got my war paint on. I don't need someone to stand up and say, hey, take a stand. I already said that proudly. I stand for my people. And that means every damn body. Because who I serve ain't down here. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
So I stand with the war paint on. I'm ready in the front line. Forget having somebody else come and stand for me. You kidding me?
Running when the bullets
We come and stand together. That's how I roll.
Yep.
So get the ego out. I've been sitting back here like, if you don't take this ego out of this conversation, go outside and push for that ego.
I'm far from ego, but I'm going to listen to y'all because it's a female talk show.
This ain't, hold on. This is, whoa, bro. Hold on. Let's get something straight. Hold on. I got
No,
this.
because you just said this is a female talk show. This show is about
Do you see the
people.
ignorance?
This show is about relationships. It's about us dealing with each other in our community.
I haven't called you out your name, sister. I am far from
can't talk.
It's time. Everything
because you said you made a distinction between nurturers and protectors, my brother. We heard you. We're not slow. We know what you meant. You didn't mean it in a flattering way.
I said anything.
Got you into,
yes,
you did.
You don't give a damn if you're a male or female. Just talking, brother.
A nurturer can be anybody. That's a stereotype. Women are. A nurturer can be a man or a woman.
In today's time, if a man is a nurturer, he got some boobs. So if you understand what I'm saying about
gender,
that's ignorant. That's stereotypical.
That's
That's ignorant. That's ignorant. My daddy was a nurturer and he was a pastor. That's not true.
It's not about ego with me. I'm a felon. So the same people that y'all talking about, it's me. So it's funny how
my brother was a felon. Both two of my brothers were felons. What are you talking about?
Is your family out here looting? Was your family out here looting?
No, because they got some damn sense. That's why they wasn't out there looting. They've been stupid before, but they're 60 years old, and the other was 56. Everybody has to change.
Long time ago, I'm still out here. I got a cousin that got 9 kids out here, and all her kids was out there looting. So I'm trying to see what your story, what y'all saying is going to do for them. Because it's not helping at all. Everything y'all saying is stereotype.
I'm a black woman, and what I have to say is important, just like what you have to say. That's why we don't get nowhere, because we have this stereotype, and we've been taught by the slave master not to respect one another. By you talking over me, that's disrespect. That's not respecting me. That's not respecting me as your sister, as your Nubian sister. That's not respect. And I did let you talk. I didn't say nothing when you were talking.
From America. So that's my thing right there. Are you from America?
Am I from America? Are you crazy? Yes, I'm from America.
This conversation going well left because of the ego.
My ancestors were in Africa. I probably was supposed to be an African queen. Okay, we were stolen from our tribes. Okay, I know about the history. I don't have to have it told to me. I know about it.
Stolen from our home and brought to a community that we now call our own.
Well, brother, tell us about your solution. Tell us about your solution.
If you let me,
you got the mic. Rock out.
Yeah, listen to you all since 7:05.
Once you answer the question that Russ asked you in the first place, is it right to be tearing up your community? You ain't even answered that. No, it's not right for us to tear up our damn community because we got to live in it. And they laughing at us because we do it. This time we went in their community. That's why it's a problem. We went in their community and tore it up.
Perspective on everything, because that'll be a man's thing. I'm not being stereotyped to a female, but I've been hearing female. From the first female that I heard, and I tried to elaborate, when Russell gave me the okay to elaborate on what she was saying, then another female came in and took over the conversation while me and her was having our conversation. So I've been asked to keep my opinion out of the air, but everybody else's expression. When you said young lady, not young lady, but lady, woman, you said my personal feelings. So when you put your personal feelings out there, you took a sidebar with the community, with the majority, with everybody else, because we have to be willing to sacrifice what we got in our own house, because it will come to our front door. If it's on your block, one of them tanks could pull off a bullet, a shot right now, and go through 6 houses, and you ain't got nothing to do with the situation. They're on the block. So it's not everything y'all saying is right. It's right. Everything you all are saying is right. I haven't called nobody ignorant. I ain't called nobody stupid. I ain't called nobody nothing, obtuse, quake, none of that. Everything y'all saying is right. But y'all not saying it the right way. If we cannot get to these people that's already out here acting a fool, they're gonna be the end of our demise. They're going to be the cause.
You can't tell us how to say nothing. First of all, because we're individuals, and how Soul Kitten wants to speak is how Soul Kitten wants to speak. How I speak, which is with Latrice, that's how I choose to speak. How Miss decides to speak is how she decides to speak, because that's how we are. You are who you are, Corey. And so you cannot tell me how I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk the way I want to talk, because that's who I am. That's where you're getting off wrong right now.
I'm just a man, and I don't live where you.
Like you said, everybody got an opinion like an asshole. I'm completely with her. Everybody got an opinion like an asshole. I agree with her.
Shooting up cars, going back over there shooting the Mexicans. I'm living right over here in the war zone, sister. I'm telling you what I'm living right now.
You can talk about your story.
So what's the solution, man?
You don't know where we've been,
It's not
brother.
really
You
a
can't do
problem.
that.
You don't know what I've seen.
You don't know what type of hell or what kind of training
You don't know what we've been
Brother,
through. Exactly.
Stop turning this to a meeting
Over
conversation.
years, sister, my brother just came over here yesterday as he riding down the street on his bike. He just seen somebody, a dude and his son, get gunned down by Mexicans in a van. I'm telling you, I just say something I seen online.
I'm from Philadelphia, brother. I know about that. I know we got it here.
About that.
What are we talking about? So let's go back.
We're not talking about that. Now you're talking about.
Hold on, time out. Hold on, can I get a second? Hold on, y'all. Let me get a second. Hold on. Hold on, 1 second. Hold on. I gotta say something. Hold on, 1 second. Cause listen, my inbox is blowing up about people that are having their own little inboxes and shit. Don't inbox about this show. Like, I want y'all to call into the show. Like, if everybody that's out here, if you on the show and your friends are in your inbox, like, get the number and inbox them and let them know to call in. Like, listen, I'm wondering because I'm a male and I created the show and this has been called a female show and this is cracking me up. So I would love to hear from some other men, because I know we have other men listening. I want to hear what men have to say. Like, because listen, it's just me and him on the phone right now, and we obviously got two different opinions, because that's what's sort of cracking me up.
Hello?
Yeah, who is this?
Corey, my name is Lee.
Talk to me.
I'm 20 years old. I'm coming from Springfield, Ohio. Hey, tell them what you heard. Born and raised. From what I've heard, you feel me? I understand. I'm listening from everybody's perspective. From a young man's perspective, of a young, light-skinned man. You feel me? I've done experience in Chicago for the first time the way I have. I've only been here for about 5-6 days now. And, I mean, it's wild. Like, we right here on the block, 67. And going straight up the main road, there ain't no gas stations. We gotta go to Indiana to do anything out the way, and we can barely get there ourselves with the curfew. We stuck in the house, like, nah. And honestly, the one businesses that is up is the black businesses that stay outside, black owned, and those are the only ones that I touch. You feel me? The only thing else open is the RV store, which is a corner store like y'all was speaking of, and other than that, shit. Yeah, the white-owned businesses is tore down and blown up.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
The black-owned business.
Let me ask you a question, though. Because this was the initial question.
Yes, sir.
What do you feel personally needs to be done in the black family to change our concept and our thought process?
Leadership. Our adults isn't thinking no better than the young ones, you feel me? So I feel like if our adults step up and be leaders like they're supposed to be, male or female, shit, if the woman is able to be strong enough, be that man. You feel me? I was raised by a white woman. That was my mom and dad my whole life. My dad wasn't in my life at all. You feel me? And when I did meet him, it wasn't good at all. So, like I said, male or female can both. And yeah, to this day, he'll fight. He'll shoot me in my face, and we'll have no problem with it. And I'll shoot him right in his face, so I have no problem with it. But that's besides the point. You feel me? We protecting ourselves and our loved ones, because you feel me? In certain situations, whether we loved or not, whether it's friends, family, foes, we get along or we don't. And some shit's more personal than others, but yeah.
So do you agree?
To answer your question,
do you agree with the fact? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I hear you. I hear your whole question. Go ahead.
Do you feel?
What would you just like to say?
How do you feel in the aftermath though? Like, you know, like, how does that make you feel, like, when you looking at your neighborhood and you like, damn, I got to go over here to get some basic necessities for my crib. You know what I mean? When I could have just went down the street. How do you feel about the destruction of the community right now?
It does make it harder on the people that do live in the same community that was destroyed.
Thank you.
But I mean, technically we do not own nothing, and then again, it's what we need is more important right now than anything. So it's at the same time, yeah, we hurting, but then again, we getting our point across as a community. We fighting for our own reason, whether it's about the dead people, you feel me? All lives matter. That's the message we sending across. But to answer your question, yes, it does bring a hardship on the community itself on what they need, basic necessities. But it's not. We're not destroying our shit. We just hurting our community. We're making it harder on ourselves in labor, but we're not destroying our shit. If that makes sense. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm definitely hearing you. I would like to.
Yeah, I mean, it is hard. I have to drive 45 minutes myself. I'm not from here, like I said. I'm from Ohio. But just being here within a week, I'm relocating into this area. But yes, sir. I mean, it's a 45-minute drive to even get to a working bank. You feel me? I use PNC there, and you really know PNC up here except for East Chicago, and that's 35 minutes from where I'm at in Chicago. So yeah, I mean, to answer your question, it does make it harder on the community itself. I ain't gonna say it was the best decision for us to do that the way we did it. Based off of the store that was destroyed, and you feel me, the corner store, you could have. There's a better way to go about it if we was choosing between them options. So yeah, I mean, shit, it made it harder. But then again, they fight for a movement within their own community, like you said. Male or female, I feel as if they'll stand up and be like Ryan as. I'm sorry, what's her name again, ma'am, on the other line?
Oh, my name Rush, man.
I heard what she said also earlier in the conversation. I do feel as if male and female can be that dog. You can be that animal that our families need. So they have to be willing to step up and do that. Because I would say a lot of our parents ain't willing to step up and fight.
I want to hear from Maseko.
I'm sorry?
Yes. No, I'm here. I hear him. I'm listening to him. Like I said, I agree with him 100%. Like you said, I don't disagree with what has happened. Like he said, I don't disagree with what has happened. I disagree with, and like he said, we didn't own it. It wasn't ours. However, but just like you happen to go 35 minutes out of your way to go to the bank that you need to go to, we're now going to have a whole lot of that going on because, with a grocery store, if there was a grocery store in that community, regardless of who built it or whatever, if there was a grocery store in that community, that grocery store was now looted and torn all to hell. So, and this person over here does not have, the resources to get 45 minutes across town to get to, another grocery store.
Yep. Or,
they have an emergency need right now. And, they don't have, they need stuff for their baby. They need medicine. They need all of this stuff. The store that was right there in their community, regardless of whose it was, regardless of who owned it, because they tore that down, now they do not have that in that community. So now you're going to have to sit up there and you're going to have to struggle. So, yes, okay, like I said, I'm not mad at these people for rioting. I'm not mad at these people for finally saying, you know what, enough is enough. I am mad at those people who chose, like if it's a revolution, when you are in a revolution, you go and you take somebody else's stuff. You go and you fight somebody else. You don't sit there in your own community where you lay your head at night.
Yeah, it was a lot of
your head at night.
Correct. I see where you're coming from. Yes, ma'am.
See, and like this is the point I want everybody to check out. We've been using the word riot tonight. There is a difference between a riot and looting. There's a difference. It's a complete difference. Like we can get together and riot. Like the Million Man March was a riot. You know what I mean? When Martin Luther King marched, that was a riot. That, that was people getting together. They were rioting. They were fighting for something. They were not fucking up their own shit in those times. In those times of our greatness, I understand people have difference of opinions about, leaders and certain things that go on. But in those times of greatness for our black people, the riots, things like the riots destroy that. And it's like we got to fight just to get back period. Even if we do, like Corey was talking about the revolution, and if we want to get it with a revolution, cool. If you want to get with a revolution, you get with a revolution. Every revolution that I know of had a cause to it. It wasn't just, fuck, I'm about to just do some shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Even the way that you do business, you don't just create business. Even the way that I did this show, I created this show with the impact of having a serious discussion amongst black people that had differences of opinions. That's why the name of the show is What's Love Got to Do With It, with a question mark at the end of it. Because I know everybody doesn't think the same way. But if we don't talk about it, if we don't have a different, at the end of the day, my goal is somebody listening to this show has a difference of opinion, or they're at least thinking about this differently. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, I got people all in my inbox, y'all sharing y'all opinions. I swear to God, I wish that y'all would just call into the show. Like, real talk. Like, call into the show. I see Maseko is tagged about 8 to 10 people. Call to the show, because I want to hear from men right now. Because, yeah, I understand we got a lot of women online, but I'm a man too. My opinion matters. It might defer from what Corey thinks somewhat. It might defer from what our other caller thinks on the phone. But we all men. And if we all can't agree, and we talking about if the conversation is going to get down to the man side of it, if we can't all agree and just sit down and have a conversation to start off whatever it is, I don't care. Even my man, all right, Corey, you mentioned, being affiliated. There are times, and even being affiliated, that you have to come to a meeting and you have to listen. You just ain't gonna go in there and just ramble off. You get your time. You get to say what you got to say, and then it's just not a full on fight. And that's what we are. We so busy fighting each other that we automatically losing. We can't even fucking agree. We can't even agree to disagree.
Nothing but our own business.
I see my man Robert Miller just joined the show. Robert, if you out there, call the show, because I know me and you been doing a lot of conversation about this Black Lives Matter stuff and all that shit. So if you can call the show, definitely call the show. I know you overseas. That's my man over in England. So shout out to my man Robert. He does a lot of stuff in the show. But is there anybody else on the line? Yeah.
I invited my producer, and then I invited my other friend to come on, so you get a few more different perspectives.
Yeah, I would love it.
I'm trying to invite him on the show so they could tune in and chime in or whatever.
Tag the phone number into the message so that they can they get immediate access to how to jump in, because all they got to do is dial the line and put in the code. I want to hear.
That's what I did.
This is a question that I have. If y'all paid attention to the clip that I started the show off with, it was a white man speaking. And what I'm going to do right quick is I'm going to play the clip one more time. And I want us to have a discussion. Listen, we're going to take a switch. I want us to have a discussion about what this white man is saying about our community and certain things that are going on. This recording was done in 1969. So it's 2020. And so much of what I heard him speak on was relevant. So if I'm about to go ahead and play the video right now.
They say is a different world about which white Americans have bothered to learn very little. Indeed, the first thorough study of Negroes and how they live in this country was completed only a few months ago. Our government, which conducts detailed surveys of everything from sugar beets in Colorado to social habits in Cambodia, had never before taken a close look at the 21 million Negroes of America. Daniel Moynihan, until this summer Assistant Secretary of Labor, was in charge of the study and was staggered by it. Moynihan says the Negro family structure is collapsing, and we asked him the reasons.
The first is, remember that American slavery was the worst slavery the world has ever known. We can't get that into our heads because the standard of living of the slaves was high, perhaps. We don't see how awful it was. We deprived them of the sacraments as Christians. We deprived them of any institutions as family life. We deprived them of any rights as human beings. There's a very long and complicated history, but we did. There's no other slavery like it in history. And there was no Negro family at all in the slave world. Secondly, segregation and the great humiliations of Jim Crow was a brutal assault on the personal integrity of the Negro male. I mean, he was the man who took the brunt of it. Thirdly, urbanization poured into the cities. Don't forget, the Negroes of our time, because they're Americans, we don't see them as immigrants. And the Negroes in Watts were immigrants, just as much as the Italians or Irish or whatever who poured into the cities in the 19th century. And it wasn't a very pretty sight in New York in 1870 either, let me tell you. The families break up when they leave countrysides, rural peasant life, and sort of dump into slums. Fourthly, unemployment. We have had 35 years of disastrous unemployment, and for the Negro male. He has never gotten over the Depression. He had 4 fair to middling years in the Second World War, and maybe a good year in the Korean War, and that's it. It's getting better just recently. But by and large, it's been going on beyond the imagining in the white world. I mean, rates of unemployment, teenage unemployment in the white world, in the Negro world today, is almost 25%. Can you imagine that? That is a social crime. That's an outrage. There isn't a society in the world which will let 25% of teenagers go unemployed. About a quarter of Negro families are headed by women. The divorce rate is 2.5 times what it is. And all the number of fatherless children keeps growing. And all these things getting worse, not better, over recent years. It's not a matter of a bad situation that doesn't improve, but rather a bad situation that worsens. Got to get that clear. It's getting worse. How'd you learn how to behave? From your father and your mother and your older sisters, maybe, and the people around you. Well, supposing there is no father, or if he is a father, he doesn't work, where there is no education, where there's no sense of getting ahead, where children are just brought up without any of that support which a family gives it, then what do you end up with? You end up a cycle reproducing itself. No group in our society is satisfied if for many, many years, for generations, the competitions of life always end up with them as the losers. Now, equality isn't a demand that everybody live the same. That's a flat level of existence. That's not the thing at all. What is true is a demand that, given one group of people, that you distribute success and failure and distinction and anonymity and affluence and poverty about the same way it's distributed in other groups. We've got to get men to work. A man can't run his family if he doesn't have a job. It just starts there. Is there any secret to that? I mean, do you have to have sociologists tell this country that? No. Creating jobs for men is no secret about it. We know how to do it. We've just got to get it clear in our minds. Either we do it, or we're going to spoil this beautiful country of ours, and that means spoiling those pretty white suburbs just as much as spoiling those nasty and ugly places like Watts.
Okay, yo, we back. So I want to know what y'all feel about that. Talk to me. Y'all still with me?
Yeah, right. We're all here.
Okay, talk to me.
We here.
I want to know. Let me try to pick a selection so we can go in order. First of all, let me find out who's all on the phone. I know I got Soul Kid, and I know I heard Latrice, Masako. I think I still heard you, right?
I'm still here.
Okay. Who else? We still got Corey online? Okay, we might have lost Corey. Anybody else online? Cool. All right, I want to hear what you got to say about that. Talk to me, Masako.
It's absolutely correct. Unfortunately, and again, because I, just like, again, my background and what I grew up seeing, part of, just the breakdown of the black family, even when things were bad And so people have to go on public assistance. One of the qualifiers in 90% of the cases for certain kinds of public assistance is that there is no male in the home. There is no father in the home. That is a qualifier for you to get assistance. That's intentional. As far as it being, the black man doesn't want to work or he won't work, no, I don't believe that. Just the men that I know in my life have always been, okay, I won't say always, but they, are generally very, very hardworking men. And especially in today's day and age, a lot of these men, they have multiple streams of income because, they believe in trying to, to keep themselves afloat and support, what it is that they have in their lives as far as, family or whatever that may, look like. So in that regard, I disagree. I do say, again, that it was intentional on behalf of the government because, again, you can't even get, like, public housing. There could not be at that point in time, let me rephrase that, at that point in time, public housing in HUD, there could not be a man in the home. There could not be a husband, a boyfriend, whatever, in the home to qualify. They have programs that are literally called women and children or women and families. Yes, we are the ones that need to be taken care of, but, our black men, so what? If they're there, we don't deserve to be taken care of. If for whatever reason he is unable to or he just needs some assistance, we don't deserve to be taken care of simply because he exists. No. But that's all true.
Very true. Very true. Latrice, talk to me.
Well, me and my husband talk about this all the time. Back in the day, it was so different. My parents moved in the Lamert area, and it was mostly white people. It was only a handful of black people. And you can have just a man working, the husband at that time. And my father worked at the post office. My mom worked at the post office, and when she got pregnant with me, she stopped working there. And I have four older brothers. So long story short, back in those days, the way it was set up, yeah, the man was in the home, and he was able to be the breadwinner at that point. Now you need everybody to go to work, the wife and the husband, because everything's sky high. And then, let me see. Also, the thing about it is she has a point. If a person is on Section 8 or they're getting HUD or any type of assistance from the government, you got to hide your husband's, your boyfriend's stuff in the closet because they're not supposed to be there. You have to be dirt poor and make, in their opinion, you could only get like $1,005 a month to get things of this nature or less. And it just kind of sucks because when it comes down to it, by the time we all get older and say you really can't, you don't have a lot of people around to take care of you, they'll tell you, you have to make this amount of money, under $1,005, in order to get in-home supportive services. So what happens is all kind of people are lying, and they're doing all these things. They're putting their houses in their children's name and different things. A lot of them are white people, which is not stated. They're not. It's not talked about. And they do it so they can get free health care from the government, free help from the government. Then you got people like my mom and dad who made all this money and who worked all their lives, and they can't qualify for assistance like that. They have government packages, which offers Kaiser, as well as you guys know that. They offer Kaiser a lot of the time, and Kaiser is BS. And what happens is people are not taken care of properly because they want to tell the truth and they work hard all their lives, And then there are people that lie or either have to be at poverty status to basically be taken care of. So we have all these things, you know, and that's what gets everybody caught up, these types of things, is the way the government is set up, the way help is set up, and the way different things are set up. It's just crazy. Oh, okay. I'm charging my phone, so I'm probably going to have to call him in here. Richard!
Yeah, I want to hear from Richard.
Come here, babe.
Yeah, Richard is her husband, and Latrice has been in my inbox, and he's been having an interesting night listening to the show. So I would love to hear what he has to say and what he feels.
Oh. Well, there's some in the refrigerator.
Oh Lord, they over there talking about food.
Russ wanted to get on the phone as a black man and talk about the community, you know, the government.
Now put him on the phone. I'll ask him the question.
Huh?
Put him on the phone. I'll ask him the question.
Okay.
Oh, Lord. Lord.
He proud me. Oh, God. Get on the phone, babe. I'm not saying nothing.
Oh,
okay,
Mind Bender. I need Mind Bender to call in, too.
Richard Lawrence.
Mm-hmm. What's going on, man?
Okay, Russell's on the phone.
Hey, man. I know you've been having an interesting time listening to the show tonight, man. I've been in the inbox with Latrice just cracking up. I would love to know what your opinion is about the issues that we've talked about tonight.
Well, what specifically? Because all I heard was just a bunch of loudmouth Negroes talking over each other.
Explain.
It's kind of hard to have an opinion because, well, I got my own opinion about what's going on, but specifically tonight, I really couldn't hear anything because I just heard a bunch of people getting in their feelings because they couldn't get out they couldn't get out what they wanted to say. You know, I guess it felt like in grade school when the teacher wouldn't call them and they finally just had verbal diarrhea and just started shirting out what they wanted to say. But if we really want to talk about some substance about what's going on, I mean, I'm not sure why everybody picked the time now, but we finally had enough after having 3 black people killed in a row and possibly more that we haven't heard about to finally say enough is enough. And we actually have some allies on board with some change, but the real change comes when these laws change, when we actually stop getting, I don't want to use this word on the radio, but when we stop getting scaredy cat district attorneys and scaredy cat police chiefs who don't mind prosecuting the cops under their watch. And so that actually happens and laws change, then right now we're still spinning our wheels. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm glad people are finally listening, just like the punk NFL want to sit and apologize. I'm like, oh, we should listen to our players earlier. No, Capper's right. You blackballed a black man for bringing up black issues, and now you want to jump on board because you feel safe because you see other white people jumping on board. But that's besides the point. What I'm really getting at is until we really see change in the laws, and as long as we continue to put pressure, and I'm not talking about we put pressure on for a couple of months, everything goes quiet, and then we're back at this at square one. I'm talking about actual change between us, as far as getting along with each other, and the laws actually prosecuting these punk cops for killing these black people.
What is your thought process about the looting and how it affected the black community and how it wasn't all, how blacks are being blamed for it all, but it wasn't all blacks that were involved in it? How do you feel about allowing, not just participating in it for those that did participate in it, but allowing other people to come into the community and destroy your community?
Well, again, that's on us. As soon as we see those kind of people coming in there, whether it's those white groups that do like to come in and throw distraction every time black people try to come together and make change, this always happens. Don't let it fool you. You have law enforcement in disguise. You have KKK in disguise, and you have random white groups who want to cause trouble and dissipate our message. So that's on us to keep those people out, and it's also on us to police our own people who want to be ignorant and try to come up when there's really nothing to come up. You're missing the whole point of us getting killed and trying to get the rights that we naturally should have for just living, and you want to come up on some shoes and some clothes. That's on us to police those idiots and also be on the lookout for those other people trying to cause trouble. We have to keep in mind that there's always going to be someone that's going to try to distract from what we're trying to do. We put all this pressure on everybody for change. And even though the looting shouldn't distract from that, of course, white people use that to their advantage and say, oh, look, they're talking about change, and they can't even stop looting for 5 minutes, and they're still stealing, they're still doing this. That's just the petty people trying to find an excuse not to face their demons. But that is on us. We have to police that. As soon as we see it, we have to snuff it out, put it down, and continue with our message. You know, like I said, it shouldn't distract from anything, but unfortunately it does, and we have to snuff it out as fast as we can so we can keep the point on track.
Very well said, my brother. Very well said, my brother. I would love to hear from the one and only, the one that has stirred up the crowd tonight, Miss Soul Kitten. Talk to me, baby.
Okay, I don't know how I stirred up the crowd tonight, but I don't know. That's another story. But my standpoint on it is patterns, histories, and biographies. That's all I saw when I was listening to a repetition of what we see every day. This has been going on.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I saw is strategic plans put in place. Like even the verbiage. See, verbiage is a really big deal because even though they were on the news and they were discussing it intelligently and everything, supposedly, but in the same process, you're also doing what TV programming does. You're programming people. So you're also reinforcing this stereotype, this xenophobia, into the world, which is thus and such going to help you out because it's a master plan that's at hand. And the distractions that I see are things that we sit here and have petty arguments over. We see too much separatism. We see too much this. We have to see the whole, the source of all, to know how to plant the seed so it can start to what? When a tree is planted, it starts off as a seed. It grows up and has many different branches. But what those branches are going to be able to do is determined by the seed. We're too busy focusing on the symptoms of the original problem. That's what I see. I see a lot of talk, even in that newscast, about the symptoms, and oftentimes planted symptoms, and lose focus on who and what started in the first place and why it's going on. There's a thing that I learned in college that is very very important and can help you manipulate. When I say manipulate, meaning comprehend and understand information no matter where it's coming from. It's called SQ3R. So when I was watching a newscast, I was doing SQ3R. That is survey, question, read, recite, read, review, and recite. That's it.
You know what?
I saw history repeating itself. And yeah.
You mentioned a word that stuck out to me. You said verdict. And, you know, I'm on my thing where I'm looking up words today because I think words have so much power.
Are you talking about verbiage?
Verdict. Now, I want people to listen to what a verdict is. It's a noun. It's a decision on a disputed issue in a civil or a criminal case or in an inquest. The part I want y'all to listen to is the very first half of it. A decision on a disputed issue.
Mm-hmm.
we have to come to a verdict, because that's what we're having right now. We're having a disputed issue. We've had a disputed issue in conversation tonight. We have to come to a commonality where we can obtain riches, we can obtain favor, and we can obtain our own self-dignity. Because I think, like, at the end of the day, we've lost, as a community, we've lost dignity in so many realms. And it hurts. I understand, like I keep saying, I understand the revolution. If we're going to fight, let's fight. But you're not going to come knock on my door and tell me, yo, we just about to go outside and just fight a nigga outside. For what? What's going on? I don't care if we know each other or not. I'm not about to run outside and just get myself into a situation that's going to harm me, possibly, in the end. And I think, like, we ran out here and we just destroyed. And I'm not talking about the protesters. Please do not get this confused with the protesters. I'm talking about the ones that destroyed things. We went out here and destroyed, and I don't think that we recognize the decision that we made and how it's going to impact us and how long it's actually going to take us to get back, especially with the economy the way that it is right now, to get back in the surplus of what we're about to face in taxes and stuff in the future that we're not going to see it right now, but in a little bit, the communities that are hurt the most are about to suffer financially, and they can't afford to suffer right now. Like, we couldn't afford to suffer before this even happened. Before Corona happened, we couldn't afford to be in a bad position and to be in a worse position than we already were. And I'm so wondering, because this is the crazy thing. We haven't, with this case, it's just beginning. They ain't even went to court. We don't know if they're going to walk. We don't know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I just saw I saw it on a website with some cops. Oh, the old man that got pushed down. Did y'all see that? The old man that got pushed down at the riot, the old white man. They are out here supporting this dude. Yeah. They out here, like, when they walked out of court, the fucking police station was standing outside clapping and giving their support like nothing was done wrong. And they did that to a white person. Yeah. They did that to one of their own.
Yep.
So if they doing that to their own, what the fuck do you think they about to do to us? They have the National Guards in our hoods, in our neighborhoods. And I don't even think we see the severity of that. Like, if one thing goes wrong, it's on. And we're not even equipped to fight that war. That's the scariest part. Now, that's the part I agree with Corey on. We do need to get together and socially, not let everybody know what we're doing and try to, as a community, move forward. But until that happens, we can't fuck our shit up. Somebody talk to me.
I agree. Like, I believe highly in strategizing. And that's what I asked a lot of people during this pandemic. Like, what were you doing? If you weren't working, per se at your 9 to 5, what were you doing? Like, who were you talking to? Were you just wasting time, or were you building? And what I mean by building is connecting with resources. What do you need? What do we need as a people? Food, shelter. We have to recycle our dollars. We have to get in touch with farmers. They're out there. There are farmers all around us. Get in touch with other small businesses, those mom and pop shops and other entrepreneurs that most of us have ignored. Get in touch with them. You have to start small. It ends up big, but you got to start somewhere. You can't just sit there twiddling your thumbs. You have to remember who's back, tears, blood, trauma, and everything that we stand upon. It's not just words. This conversation is not about just words. It's not about egos. It's not about, oh, I agree with this one, that one. We need to put that aside. It doesn't matter what your religious affiliation or spiritual backing is. All that matters is we have one common goal. And if you truly believe in change, then you will put aside those things because you will realize they don't matter. That's the biggest thing. That's the thing I came into this conversation with. I don't see this separatism. I just don't. That's just not the way my mind operates. That's not the way my heart operates anymore. So to me, when I'm looking just from sharing my 2 cents, it's like, get away from the other stuff that doesn't matter. That's mundane. That's mundane. What is the bigger lesson that we're supposed to be learning? Is it from the earth or is it from above? Or is it from both? That's a question that you have to answer in your private time. But all the other stuff, set it aside. Please. This is the reason why we have failed. Made great attempts and then failed. So when I speak passionately, I'm tired. When you get tired, you don't sit there and complain. You get up and you do something. So I could care less about someone doesn't like the way I say it, because I know from whom and what I come from, what we all come from. That's what we have to remember. We want to see the same things continue to happen, but are we going to be big enough and have enough love and empathy and open enough to evolve and come together for real this time?
That was heavy. Maseko.
Yes.
He was a fool.
Peace, everybody.
He was a fool. Hey, I
So what's
appreciate
that? I'm
you.
sorry, somebody just said something.
I appreciate you, Doctor.
Peace. It's Sir Bender.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. That's,
What
you know what, Russ, I'm not even getting ready to speak right now. I'm going to give the floor to Mr. Bender, and you can hear why in a minute. Go ahead.
Oh, Mr. Bender, what's going on? We got Mr. Bender on the phone. What's going on, sir?
Oh man, nothing flashy, never tacky. It's a good night. How are you?
I'm doing fine. What do you have to say tonight?
Man, we've been wrestling with like a lot of mixed emotions. But one of the things that we made clear in our house, I think for our call, have you been doing your time in the whole nine? We have a new slogan called "Get Naked." You know what I'm saying? And
hold on 1 second. Somebody talking about some shrimp and sausage. Can somebody please mute the phone if you're talking about your shrimp and sausage? All right, go ahead. Go ahead, boss.
All right. We back to that terminology, get naked. I know we all heard about it, when they're talking about total honesty and transparency and things of that nature. We done heard people talking about they don't want to be a martyr. They willing, but they don't want to be a martyr. They're talking about, people that turn, burn shit down and all of that, and the riots and the thing, and the protests, this whole nine. And then on top of that, earlier, I heard somebody say you got to be careful about, infiltrators, people that's implanted into your movements, and all of this is, we seeing it right now and whatnot. Just caught a video where the guy was sitting there trying to convince a whole, mob to tip over a truck. And, a group of POC protesters, just started outing him, like surrounding him. He wanted to tip over the truck. He with them. He's not peaceful. This is peace. And, surrounding him. You know what I mean? To the point to where he panicked and started bolting, just ran. And I think that's what, is needed, period, point blank. We got so many factions in the United States right now. I don't think people understand the pockets of the hood and how deep that underground really go. And if they actually organized for real, this military and all of these factions will have a problem on their hands, because now the new railroad really, would be wide open. But the war isn't in these streets the way they think it is. It's all in these computers. And we have wizards in these streets. We have folks down in these streets that will never show you, will never know that they didn't, sat here on their own time and perfected a certain craft. They're not on the census. They don't have the degrees. but they have that skill. And this is the point where I'm saying this is the point where that know-how and experience being in the trenches, this is where all of that can pay off. If people really talking about that unify, anything after that, they don't really want it, you know? My man said, okay, we doing good, you know what I'm saying? We're getting their attention, you know, but after that, where's the consequences? We got to be able to provide consequences. What's going to happen when we really just shut down? So that's our next step. And until that, we're going to keep repeating until, okay, what's happening? We are not scared. We are ready. But like the lady said before, somebody got to care. Somebody got to care. There's enough. Like my man said, and it's crazy because you see these videos where my man said, yo, calling all the gangbangers and the cats out there in the streets and the whole nine, y'all already armed up. We got people over there that got networks that we got the same guns these military cats got. Let's be honest. Same ammunition. Who you think we got it from? So this is the real war. You know what I'm saying? And I do believe that's the tactic. They want civil unrest. They want it to go down. So it's almost like, okay, we the superpower. What y'all going to do if we actually, make the people rise up? Oh, that's what we thought. Another repeat, like ma'am said before. So ultimately, these talks can go back and forth. But inclusion, what you going to do? Are y'all going to build in silence? Actually, get around the people that see it the way you are, fed up the way you are, have situations and connect and networks and all of that stuff where they can answer questions that you have and vice versa, and then y'all start taking it really to their ass. Then what? Pockets at a time. It doesn't matter. That's what they do to us. I mean, it just is what it is, and it's not a bad way to think about it. It's just where we're at. People want peace, but man, you got to go do something to get that, and that's on all levels. So that's my 2 cents.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. This is a question I got for you. Let me ask you because I'm picking your mind right quick. Okay. How do you, because this is my question. I heard you mention that we got guns, they got guns. But I saw a little report, and for the guns that we have, we are completely outnumbered to the guns that they got. You know what I'm saying? Like for every officer, I don't want to misquote this. I believe it's like 10. They got like 10 weapons for every officer. 10 to 100 weapons. I can't remember. It's somewhere in between that. I know it's a 1 and a 0, but it's like 10 to 100 weapons for every officer. And if you think about that,
right?
Okay, like nigga might have a chopper. This nigga might have this. But what's going to happen when them bullets run out? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to be, that's my concern right now, because I feel like
that's where I'm banking on it though, brother, because I look at it like this. If y'all are actually going to come and bring your peoples and terrorize these streets where we grew up, you don't know these streets like we know these streets. So when them bullets and all that run out, now we talking cowboys and Indians. Now we talking arrows, rocks, and hands. You know what I'm saying? And we can organize just as nice as they is. And I mean, we look at all right, Black Hawk Down, the movie. Let's say what they did in Somalia. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's be honest. They was outnumbered. They didn't have the shit that they had. They just wasn't having it. And that was the biggest mistake that America made. But that militia or whoever responded, they went down there and you went in their streets. Now you're on our playing field. And that's what I think that we got as the people in the hood, as in these streets. I do not think they realize, and that's where they have it wrong, or they have it right so much so that the media and what they need to report to us is giving us a sense that we are crippled. When the truth of the fact of the matter is, our underground goes so damn deep that if we really unified, man, you're talking about shutting down. We can shut down the border as a people. What do you mean the government? Like, we deal with the streets, man. We deal with Mexico. You name it. Any border around here, we got underground all the way through, all around the world. And we're not even talking about the streets. We're talking about, let's talk about some other shit. Let's talk about lifestyles, different things that people are into, alternative lifestyles. You know what I'm saying? And now we have friendlies over this way, and we're building networks in the whole nine. These people ain't even thinking about, you know what I'm saying, somebody in the culture that I'm in organizing a movement over this way that's connected to an organization over that way, because we have friendlies that's higher up in these positions, just like these gang members got Bloods, Crips, GDs, Volks, vice lords that are judges, lawyers, gang, you know what I'm saying, politicians and all of that. Man.
But this is my
question.
question.
Can you imagine an army of sadomasochists?
Hey,
Can you imagine an army of sadomasochists?
Hey, but see, this is my question. This is my question. Because the mentality of listen, this is my question to that though. The mentality of what you spoke of, because I seen Black Hawk Down. The difference that I see is the mentality of the people.
They don't love each other.
The average looter out there that was causing shit ain't ready to die for us. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. They don't love each other.
The average motherfucker that was out there pulling that shit, they didn't think about fucking us up. They didn't think about the mother that, or the grandmother that she got to try to travel halfway across town and go just get some medication. You know what I mean? They didn't think about that. They didn't think about like the fucked up shit that our grandmothers got to deal with. You know, like when we talk about our communities, we can't forget them. Just because we ready to fight don't mean that they able to fight. You feel what I'm saying? And we putting them in a war situation that don't even, you know what I mean? They shouldn't even be in if we love our people. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we not loving our people enough to even, that's my main thing. We don't even love ourselves enough to stop beefing with each other to even sit down. Like I understand what you're saying, and I love the concept of it. But the American black male, and I'm not talking about outside America, but the American black male is so disillusionized in the way that he thinks, from the way that he gets up in the morning, and to how he deals with his woman, to how, even in the lifestyle. I tell people all the time, it's people in the lifestyle, but motherfuckers ain't in the lifestyle. They just trying to play around a little bit. They just trying to get into something right now. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's not like somebody doing something real. We're not even used to, like I understand those networks are there, but if it called on it right now at this particular moment and they started to bomb shit and these National Guards just went fucking crazy because they got an order to do some bullshit, would we be ready to right now get the fuck up?
You want to know what's crazy, brother? Your answer is already right. You know what I'm saying? No. But there will be, you know what I'm saying, folks that can tip the scales. It's a situation where, all right, we already know that we're outnumbered. You know what I'm saying? What are we going to do about it? Because when it boils down to it, I don't think that they factor in what you said, love, empathy. It's one of them. It's just one of them energies that, you know what I'm saying, if that thing get right, man, not a force. There's nothing that can stand against it. You know what I mean? And there's people that would die just to see that happen. You know what I mean? And if it went down over on my way, I'd say the way I personally feel about my network and the people I deal with, they already know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking about it since we've been talking about it. Even frustrated with ourselves when we wasn't ready. But ultimately, we have decisions to make, and we got to get naked with them. And that's for everybody. We got to get naked with them. If we don't like the way our grandmothers and grandfathers, you know what I'm saying, throwing up in this joints, get them up out of here. We should, you know what I'm saying, let's try and invest in some of these places to get our own buildings. Like, these are the things like we all keep talking about. You know what I'm saying? We need our own structure. Nobody want to die. Nobody want to be in front line and get embarrassed because they look behind and see they're the only one standing. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop ghosting each other. You know what I'm saying? We don't trust each other. We got all rights not to trust each other, but it's one of them situations where you really got to be like, all right, fuck this corny shit. Can we take back, you know what I'm saying, something that we supposed to have? You know what I'm saying, a long time ago. We could do it peacefully. We got the minds to do it. We also got the people that think militant too. We need that balance.
Yeah,
we're not going to have it any other way, or we won't be respected.
Cause see, I don't listen. I believe that you should believe in something so much that you should die for it. I believe that, but the mindset of our people is so confused You know what I mean? Like, even just talking to other black people, I've heard so many different fucking thoughts and perspectives from, you know, like these niggas out here just going crazy to people that, you know, like, yo, let's go do this, to other, you know, it's just crazy that we are so divided. Our single thought process is not for us to advance, for us not to take care of each other, for us not to fight and make things right for us. We would, you know, like we live in cycles. You know what I mean? And it's sort of sad to say that's one thing I feel like us as a black community has not broken the cycle of. We go a certain amount of time and we fuck our own shit up. We do it all the time. This is not the first, and this is the crazy part. This ain't the first time we done fucked our shit up. This is just the first time that we can really see other motherfuckers in our shit fucking our shit up.
Well, here's where I have a twisted solution, because, you know, Bender being Bender, I always see things, you know, kind of crazy. So here's where my thought is. You know, they're not afraid of us for very good reasons, right? Because most of the people that's caused them most of the problems are locked up or dead. You know what I'm saying? So if we can find a way to really get back in there and find in minds that it ain't got nothing better to do but the plot, plan, and strategize that's locked up behind them walls, and tell them, we know for a fact your case is XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. We have this money together to start working and freeing these cats out here that can make a difference. Because they in there. And I'm telling you, because I've been in there, and I've been in situations where it was all race riots. And once again, it wasn't us doing it. It wasn't whites against blacks or black, Latino, Mexican, none of that necessarily. It was the COs, the guards, and everybody over there, and they bullshit. If the money weren't going the way that they wanted to, they would sit there and next thing you know, now we have a race war. Right. And one thing's for sure, I'm going to tell, I don't know what's going on out here on these streets right now, but I know what I've seen in there. It didn't matter if he was a blood, a Crip, 18 years old, 65, 85, 95. I swear to goodness, you were fighting. And if you wasn't fighting or didn't have the capability, you were protected. Like, that's just the way I seen it. And we didn't stop until everything stopped. You know what I'm saying? We didn't stop till everything stopped. It got so ugly sometimes where it was like, yeah, I've seen people lose their life, cops beating them to the ground. I mean, but they did not stop. They did not stop. Eventually, guess what happened? Shit changed. Shit changed. The meals got better. The jobs, opportunities got better. More opportunities for them to go out and work. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean, that's what has to happen on a grander scale. I mean, that's what I'm saying. So let's tap into the people that, you know what I'm saying, have that danger. Yeah, I'm ready for it, and I got the know-how, but I'm just not going to be sitting out here dying. I got all this information and can't put it into play because I'm not protected. The minute I go out there, I'm going to look good. You know, social media got you blow all the way up real quick. Now you're a target. Before you can even get any safety around you, you're done. Because they know where you at, because you're live, because somebody else got you on camera. We don't know how to protect each other. How many cameras we don't watch people getting shot, beat down and the whole nine, getting killed, and they're yelling. I swear to goodness, I've never seen nothing like that in my life face to face without me either getting beat the fuck up right along with these cops or killed right along with that person. I can't do it. I will never. I don't give a fuck who it is. So, and that's just for me. So every single time I see these videos, every time I see these, all this, it doesn't matter. The cops, they're sitting there, people that's yelling at them. I mean, everybody around them, all of them accountable. All of them. Because you're looking at 5, 6 cops right here. The masses of populations around them while you're killing it, man, do you understand? Let me have a taxi, I'd have ran up, hitting, boom, or we'd have started rocking. We'd have started, and I know if anybody know me on the street, they'd have started rocking. And we'd have had a problem, but that man had been alive. Yeah. I'm just saying. Take your chances. Put yourself out there to actually do something other than, you know what I'm saying, watch somebody else do it. I can't. I mean, it just is what it is. Without feeling like that martyr shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's that situation where, like, once again, we got my man up in here. Oh, we already know, boy from the hood, he a knockout artist. He got scared of him, fearing. So much so that you'll never see one or two run up on him. Yet, when it comes down to it, they won't rally around him and be like, yo, we got XYZ, XYZ. What we going to do? Well, let's take it straight to them. Yet they got this small little, small force in this town where the only thing they have to do is storm the gates because these people are so cocky, they don't think that these niggas are going to do nothing.
Right.
And I see it for what it is. And I'm telling you, that shit start happening, that's when the real fear come in because they're like, oh shit, here come the gangbangers. Here comes the real killers. Here comes the motherfuckers that they're going to force us to see our ugly. And if we show our ugly as a people, we show our might as a people, it shows their ugly, and it shows everybody else, the countries around. And you never know. One of them motherfuckers might say, ho, 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 where's that sleeping giant that we might be talking about in prophecy? Is that Africa? Who? They say, hold the fuck up. Don't make us come over there and like actually add to this, because if we get there, you know what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they've been saying it for a while. Black man, this is not your war. Go home, it's not your war. We don't have no promise, y'all, it's not your war. Everything, you know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. Mm-hmm. If we had a force and was like, yo, we need y'all help, can y'all help us? They were like, do what? When? They were like, say less. If we do that, they're like, hell yeah, man, we would love to open this country. It's supposed to be free, right? Let's make it free. We need y'all help. Stop making it about money. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Let me ask a question.
I'm ranting. I want to get off now because
I got a question.
No,
you know what? You just got me. You led me to a question that I'm gonna open up to the whole panel. I'm opening this up to the whole panel. Your last statement was freedom. What does being free mean to you? I want to start with Soul Kitten because I feel she was starting to purr. Matter of fact, can I get a purr today? I ain't got no purr at all. It's been so wild in the jungle today.
Yeah, how?
I don't even go by Soul Kitten no more, but I'm doing it only for you. I don't feel my purr gonna be a roar right now.
Go ahead.
It's gonna be a roar. But freedom to me is making your own agreements, breaking the shackles of things that do not serve you. It means being authentic. It means stepping inside yourself so you can manipulate your outside environment. Free to me means knowing who you are. And that means knowing who you are is on a process, learning. So then you can speak from a place of knowingness. And when you do that, what can anyone hold on to you? You're not going to agree to things that do not serve you and that are not of you. You're not controlled. You do not conform. You step into your greatness and you create. That's being free to me. Free to love, free all other things we associate with having these experiences down here. It's free. Free to know I can voice my opinion, share my knowledge, and listen to someone else's knowledge, and love them, and hug them, and be okay. That's free to me. Different example. It starts with your mind.
That was
well
deep.
said.
She just left that out
Absolutely.
there. She just left that out there like deep smoke. I want to move on to Maseko.
I started to say it. Was anybody there?
Yeah, like you just.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, G. Like
I thought I was at a spoken word. I said, all right.
Yeah, she ended it off with like, and I got one more thing to say.
That's on my heart.
She said, I got one more thing to say.
Like I said, you let them have it though. Everybody got an opinion like they got an asshole. Well, go on and get it.
Maseko, same question.
I love it.
Let's go, Maseko. I want to hear Maseko. What does freedom mean to you? What does the word freedom mean to you?
Freedom is I have finally gotten to a point where I am willing to fight for what I believe in, to fight for what is important to me, to fight for those who
I hear
either
echo.
cannot fight for themselves, I'm just that person. I'm ready to fight, and whatever it comes down to, whatever it may be. But the other thing, for me, I achieved my own freedom when I stopped worrying about what everybody else thought and had to say when it came from fighting. When it comes to anything, period, but also especially when it comes to fighting for what I believe in.
Latrice, Miss Thang, what does freedom mean to you? What does the term freedom mean to you?
I have a very interesting way of singing this about how I feel about freedom. I wrote this song and it goes, I'd like to fly high across the mountains, feeling free, just to be me once again. I'd like to feel the sky against my window, the dew on my eyelids, this newfound freedom. I wanna fly, just you and I. Together we'll all be free. I wanna fly, just you and I. Together we'll all be free. Together we'll all be free. Together we'll all be free.
That was beautiful.
That's it.
That was just
Thank
beautiful.
you.
All right, man.
All right.
It's on you, boss.
All right.
It's on you, Mindbender. Tell me, because this you kick this off. What does freedom mean to you, bro?
Right on. Sure. All right. Well, hell. Freedom is being able to live with your choices and your decisions. For me, I've had a situation where I know what my physical freedom, being snatched away has been like, on levels where it's like, I can see the sunlight, smell the air, and then on levels where it's like, I don't even know where the hell I'm at. So freedom for me is all about being able to live with your decisions, because, in the moment that you're in is only guaranteed. We can plan for the future all we want. You know what I mean? That's good. But the only thing that's really solid is the moment you're in. So, if you're good in that moment and you really, take that time to enjoy it. That's freedom for me, because anything after that, I think we get unrealistic. I always talk about a balance, man. I think that's where my freedom is in that balance, being able to say, yeah, all right, I haven't had enough. When I haven't had enough, I get naked. Listen, this is XYZ, 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 and be able to and say it to anybody, even to yourself. You know what I mean? And I swear to goodness, everything just starts unlocking around you. It's just the way it is, manifest. Yeah, it's freedom.
Man, first of all, I want to thank everybody for tuning into the show tonight. Like, we ran for 2.5 hours tonight. We ran actually longer than I expected to run tonight. But I'm going to answer the question myself. What does freedom mean to me? freedom is something that I do not understand yet because I do not walk in it. But what I expect freedom to be is to be financially secure, to be secure in my family, to be secure with where I walk and not be looked at differently. For me, freedom is a state of mind that in this current time, I feel like it's impossible for a black man, even if they are successful, to be free at this particular point in the United States. Yes, you can have a sense of freedom in the mind, but to be free is something that I would really like to explore. I would like to know what it's like to move anywhere, and I'm granted on my merit and what I do and how I act and how I'm waiting on the day where I fill out a job application and I don't think about how I'm filling out the job application. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for a day where when I walk into a bank and I'm just dressed down, that I'm not being looked at as some bum ass nigga and they don't know if I got money in the bank or not. I want to be treated a certain way that I pray that before I leave this earth, I at least experience it for my next generation. Because honestly, I'm 44 years old. I don't know if I will actually see a movement of freedom in my day and time. Because just like I said earlier, with the current state of what just took place, it set us back as a nation and as black people all the way around, from how they look at us to how we view us. We have been damaged in such a way that freedom is not even something that as a nation that we can even say that we are. So I pray for freedom. I pray that everybody listening to this show tonight has at least had a different thought process, or they listened in a different way. You can have the same thought process because we cannot make or change anybody. But I would at least like to offer the opportunity. I thank all of my guests. Like, this was, I really had other stuff in line for the show, other clips and stuff, but just as you could tell, we go with the flow around here. You know what I mean? Each show, it takes on its own life. And I pray again that, any listeners, any callers that called in tonight, that you were not offended, that you can listen to the show even as in a back play and have a different perspective by listening to someone else. I thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Appreciate y'all.
Good night, all.
Good night.